Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for joining me. Yes, it is very late. Sorry it took me so long. It's debating on jumping back on and what I would discuss to you all in this late morning. And thank you so much for the five joining me. Hope everyone is well. What are you all doing up this time of night? 18 in the room. Thank you, Tasha KK. Hi, baby. How you doing? If you all want to join in, you can call me on IG, Big Sexy 71. Flouncy, how you doing? Sheba, how you doing? Uh we Queen talks crime, my partner in crime, uh Mr. Backspace F1 and myself have been debating on what we would talk about, what we would bring to you today. And I've debated if I wanted to go back into the belly of the beast and discuss this, but we're going to bring it to you because we feel like people keep asking questions and pondering things. So I want to go ahead and just go on and talk about it because some of you are still curious about all the shenanigans going on with these kids. I didn't put a title up there that would draw too much attention. Hi, how are you all doing? Hey, Backspace, how you doing? I'm just going to call you Air Force One if you don't mind, Backspace. Thank you all for joining me in this late morning. You all don't go to sleep. Thank you, Night Owl. I don't see Queen. I don't know where she is. I think we all know that there has taken place a lot of foolishness. Thank you. No date, honey. No date. Just looking good for you guys. That's all. And myself. I think we all know that a lot of foolishness has taken place. Thank you, Crystal, for joining us. Crystal Moore is our new mod. Please say hello to her. Night Owl is the original mod, and Queen Talks Crime is also original mod. There'll be three moderators doing this during this live. I will not try to run long, but I want to get some things off my chest, things I've been pondering about pertaining to the children that are missing still. I think we need to start at the beginning of the story, and we all know where that began. I think there has been a lot of foolishness that has taken place with the case. I think that everything you needed to know has been given to you. Some of you refuse to believe in the chief, Mr. Walker, Chief Walker, because you decided you wanted to focus on other nonsense and rumors. Well, that's one thing I want to talk about is that in the beginning, you didn't have any facts pertaining to the children. You don't have any verification. Yes, the belly of the beast. You never had verification of anything pertaining to this story. You never had documentation of who was actually adopted, who was actually a foster child. You've questioned why anyone would murder a child if they were getting money for them. Well, as I've stated, if your mindset is deviant, it does not matter whether it was a foster child or adopted child or your own biological child. If you are mentally ill and you are sick, then that is what you are. You're a demon. It doesn't matter. So you all have weighed on that. The reasoning for anyone murdering a child. Why were these children murdered if indeed they were murdered? You've questioned if other people were involved, such as the biological family. You've asked that as well. I've had a source in my inbox, not the main one, but someone else, who was giving me information that I did not know what to believe or think. I briefly mentioned it in a chat that the person said that they believed that Trezell told the kids that the children were with the biological grandparents. Now, I told this person, I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're saying is the truth. But one thing that they did say in that long-winded conversation, they did give the name of the father of the children, one of the children at least, by the last name of Pettis. And then I go to someone's channel the other day, and there is that same name up in ink on the children's, I guess, birth certificates by the name of Pettis. So I thought, well, maybe this person that was in my inbox knew a little something about what happened that day. The child's leg got fractured. They had this guy's name They mentioned that he had 2 children. The CPS came, investigated him. He was able to keep his 2 children. I don't know this fella, but the Pettis name was mentioned in that inbox a month ago, stating this guy who had the 2 children that was dating the biological mother, that I guess he was staying at the same home with the biological mother when this incident took place. The person also said in that said information that he was not the culprit of the fractured leg of the first child, the oldest child, that it was indeed Ryan Dean who fractured the child's leg, that she was the sole person, suspect in that fracture of that child. Now, I do not know if that is truth or not, but that was just what was mentioned in that said commentary about how many people were staying in the house with the biological mother and the children. She's allegedly gone, But the person is saying, this person who mentioned this to me a month ago, is that she was the suspect and not that guy. I do not know if that's true. You've listened to different people come forward saying they gave money to Trezell West. We don't really have verification, do we? That was someone's talking on a phone on a YouTuber's channel. Then we have information that a woman sold the house to him. He came with a mob-like figure, but yet she wrangled with him for 6 months. Why would anyone wrangle for 6 months to sell their house if they were already planning to leave and move to Arizona? Why would I want to wrangle with you and I'm wanting to move? I thought that was odd. So you see, you don't know what is the truth in this story. Do we have people just jumping on the bandwagon to want to get attention? And it's not to make any of them out to be liars. But I say this to you only because no one wanted to believe my source. No one wanted to believe that my source was accurate in her information, that she has had contact with the biological mother and said children. So this person knows of her. And I believe the person because there's things that she said that nobody would know unless they knew the mother. How in the world would I ever know where this woman gave birth to her children? What hospital? The last baby was in the NIC unit. How in the world could I, a YouTuber from East Tennessee, make that up? How could I know that she didn't visit her child in the NIC unit? How could I make that up? How could this person make that up? And no, it is not a CPS worker. No, it is not a doctor who gave me the said information. But this is the point I'm trying to make to you. You all have decided to pick and choose what you want to believe about this story. You have been walking around like zombies. So I say, if you can believe the realtor, if you can believe some woman on a phone saying she gave Trezell $5,000, then why couldn't you believe that what the source said was true? How is it different? How is it different? And I never wanted to address this, but we're addressing all variables, me, Backspace, and Queen Talks Crime, to put an end to all situations and scenarios pertaining to the children. We have to ask ourselves, who are we dealing with? What type of human beings are we dealing with? Are they actually human beings, or they are just slaps of flesh that took in children for profit? You see, the answer has been there all along, but you all would not listen. The chief has told you everything you need to know, but you will not listen. So the queen's going to say it to you one more time, and I'm going to try not to ever say it to you again. You don't know how many children have actually been in these people's custody because no one has come to verify it. And frankly, YouTube isn't the place to come verify that type of thing. You know, the right thing to do is to call the police or the FBI. Do you want to believe that there were only 4 children that made it to Cal City? Or do you want to believe that there were 6 children? And you will never get a verification by the adoptive parents because they're not talking. So that leaves speculation. And this case has been nothing but speculation and rumors from day one because the adoptive parents will not talk to anyone else. His mother and father will not talk. His brothers will not talk to tell what they know and do not know. All you've gotten is rants and Dear John letters to a pay site, once in cahoots with them, and then the brother distancing himself, Mr. Watkins, from the said information pertaining to his own brother and his wife. News stories to the ABC News, pretending to care about the children, yet you never identify them by name, Mr. and Mrs. West, Wanda West, and your husband. You only spoke of yourself, which led me to believe you did not care for the children. You could not have cared for the children because you didn't even identify them in the said ABC News clip. You only cried and moaned that people were outside stalking the house. The GoFundMe pages. You've questioned that. Why would anyone set up GoFundMe pages when they're not even the caretaker of the children? The children have not been retrieved. Of course you would ask that. A sane person would. Now we hear that those pages have been taken down. We hear that there were several GoFundMe pages by the biological mother. One would question, why would you need several GoFundMe pages when you're not the caretaker of the children and the children have not been retrieved, dead or alive? You have been missing in action, the biological mother. No one has heard from you, seen you. You were not at the last prayer service for the children. Why is that? You could not get out from work? Or you just did not care? Someone questioned tonight, why were you not at the billboard that was put up? Why are you not rallying to say, hey, that's a nice billboard. I'm happy. Thank you. Where are you? That is what's been asked lately. You see, the Queen has stayed woke because I am a very analytical person. I have the gift of discernment, and I miss things that most won't. It is not to brag. It is just a spoken word that I see what sometimes you don't see. Because one thing about the Queen is that I listen. I don't talk when I'm being given information. I listen to everything that's been given. I listen to everything that has been said. And I realize that some of you are walking around as if you're in a cult. And that's what someone said in my inbox, that they walk around like zombies rallying for people they do not know. They don't know anything about the West or the biological family, but yet they're following behind these people, rallying for a biological person who was original caretaker. But yet you're rallying for someone who lost all 4 children, not just the 2, but all 4. And the first older children were retrieved by their fathers because of the last 2 being taken by CPS custody. But yet you continue to rally for this person, and you do not know her. And you do not know her biological family members. And it is not to say that all of them are bad people or that they are vile and rank, but we have seen behavior of them that has exhibited vile behavior, such as stalking people on YouTube, stealing your names out of the chat, following you to Facebook and stalking you and saying vile things to you and myself via a Facebook page. See, that will lead one to think that maybe you know more than what you're saying. Because why are you stalking people? And why are you bothering them? And why are you consumed with a YouTuber who is just bringing an opinion, such as other YouTubers have done? So it is okay for other YouTubers to have people talk on their channel about dealing with Trezell West, but Everyday Shenanigans can't have a source to speak up. It's a lie. It's a farce. What is the difference? What I'd like to know is, why have everyone been believing everything that you've heard pertaining to Trezell West and the money? That is another subject. How do we know somebody gave him $5,000? The house was $197,000. $5,000 doesn't even get the wheels spinning for a house. I want you to think. Stop listening to gossip. He said, she said, and think about what's been given to you. $197,000. $5,000 does not even get the ball rolling. 1. 2. Why would you wrangle with someone to sell your house for 6 months? Someone has alleged that they were in the house in the spring living there, or had the house but weren't staying there, rather. Is that true? Count the months back from September When you go back from the month of September, 6 months back, you are at the month of March. So we are now to believe that Trezell and Jacqueline West wrangled with a woman about her house from the month of March 2020 to the month of September 2020. Who would do that? Why would I let my realtor come to me to say, hey, they can't secure a loan. What do you want to do? Do you want to wait to see if they'll secure a loan? I'll wait. I'm not worried about the likes because I know they're ear hustling and I don't have a problem with it. The sightings, Tehachapi, is that true? The realtor, what is her stake in the game? Who is the actual person that gave him the money, allegedly? Is that true? And once again, why is there saying that this person has now made it to Arizona? This is also the same location, state, where the seller is living currently. Is there a connection? Some of you think the realtor's father could be involved. I do not know. I'm throwing out every variable that you have mentioned on my channel in the past 2 months since this saga began. Somebody knows something. This case is stinky. It is off. It is ratchet. It is ghetto. It is bottom feeding at best. It makes no sense. It makes no logical sense. But see, you have to always remember nothing will make sense because it is of the devil. And when did the devil ever make any sense? You will believe whatever you want to believe about the biological mother, the biological fathers, Trezell and Jacqueline West, Wanda West, her husband, Jamal Watkins. But we know the truth is that these people have had knowledge that the children have been gone for some time. That's obvious. Will they ever tell the truth? Of course not. Because they're thick as thieves. And they're all willing to go down in flames together on a lie. The children never stood a chance. And you can sugarcoat it how you want. You cannot want to know what happened to them in the beginning of their early life, how they came to be into CPS custody, but the spoken word has been spoken. They did not have a chance, because had they had a chance, we wouldn't be talking about them, and they would not be missing out of the state of California. We'd be talking about something else. I do not see genuine love on anyone's part pertaining to these children, except for various strangers, such as myself and some of you in the chat and around the world, that outsiders care more for these children. You see, if someone actually cared for the children, even if the mother had lost custody, which she did, a family friend would have taken them in. They would have spoken up to CPS to say, I can take these children in. I can provide a loving home for them until the mother gets herself together or complies with the rules and regulations to get her children back. But we realized that never happened because we're now talking about missing children. So where were the biological family? Where were you? You have rallied and cussed and fussed and cursed out people and been vile to people in the chat and doing nasty, facetious things to myself. But in the end, I'm not the one with the missing children, nor are the people in the chat, nor are the people on Facebook, nor are the people in the state of California. Where were you all when those children needed a voice? Those children needed a warm bed. Those children needed a hug. Those children needed love. But instead, you would rather stalk people on social media. Where were you? And as I state, I cannot blame everyone related to those kids by relative and or even the West family for what took place under the care of their biological mother. But what I can say is that no one stepped up, because had someone stepped up to say, I will take the children in until the mother complies with the rules, we would not be talking about these kids. And whether you don't want to face the fact that they didn't have a chance day one, that is on you. But I do not sugarcoat anything. Never have, never will. I know they went missing under the West watch. We know this already. But those children still had a beginning. And now we hear nothing from the mother, the biological mother. All GoFundMe pages have been taken down allegedly. That is the word on the street. Why is that? Why do you need money for children that you do not have, you did not have? Why is that? Why did you take the pages down? Why has everyone been so quiet all of a sudden? Is it because the source said something that you knew was true? You see, as I stated, I didn't need the source to come to me because I had already formed my opinion once I heard everything and seen everything. You see, I'm not a follower. I've never been a disowned follower. This case stunk from day one, and it still stinks. And one of you out there know where those children are. So we are to believe what? You had 6 children or you had 4. You brought 4 to Cal City or you brought 6. You didn't let your children go outside to play. Why? They said, the neighbors, we never saw children. Then they switched it up and said, yes, we did, but we can't say the ones that are missing are the ones that we saw. What is the truth? Why? Why is authorities, why were they going back to that house? Why did they go back? Why did they go back? See, this is what I kept trying to tell you all. Instead of focusing on the chief and making fun of him being an actor or actor at one time, that's not the point. The point is, the chief tried to tell you in the beginning, but you wouldn't listen. You're too busy worrying about a damn acting career. He told you everything you needed to know. I don't need to go in the desert. I don't need to go in the ocean. I don't need to go in the waterways because you don't listen. It's the house. It's the house. You see, it doesn't take much to conceal a 3 or 4-year-old. It's not like a 150-pound body, 200-pound body. It's going to take some work to carry a 200-pound body out of an apartment, 2nd floor, 3rd floor. You get my drift. 3 and 4, I could put you in a crate. I could put you in a plastic tub. I could put you in a black garbage bag. But then where am I going to take you? Am I going to take you to the city dump? I'm going to drive you to the ocean. Or I'm going to drive you upstate California and dump you in the woods. Or could I wait for a special moment when I purchase a house? And take you there. And dispose of you there. Could it be that I put you in the fireplace after I dissolved you? You see, those are the things that some of you have not realized, that it doesn't take much to get rid of a small child. And perhaps the children were dead when they got to Cal City. I don't know. I don't know what surveillance will prove, but I keep telling you, I do believe someone has more footage of them with the said children that they allegedly were taking care of, including their biological children. But the reason why I said what I said about the children being dissolved or disposed of at Cal City is because why were the authorities going back there? So you have to ask yourselves. You can come up with 1,000 ways of who did what and why, who's involved. But what you have to ask yourself is, there's a reason that the police went back there in that yard, in that lot next door. There's a reason. And it does not take 3 weeks to look around a backyard or a vacant lot. I think that should have been done immediately, day for day, until they were done. But I'm not law enforcement, so I don't know what their reasonings are. It has also been said that they checked the last address of Giselle and Jacqueline West. I do not know if that's those apartments or if it's another home, but it is stated They did not find anything. Is that true? I do not know. But I do know that the police does not have to tell you the truth in an investigation. They do not also have to tell you that they believe that these people harmed these children. They can say they are not suspects because perhaps they don't want the two to run or to do anything foolish. They never have to tell you the truth, and I think most of you know that. And the police will lie in interrogation. They will lie to a suspect that the other suspect gave up information to get you to tell on the other person or other persons involved. This is an odd and weird story about two babies, unlike anything I've seen in my life. Very rare to find people running to YouTube to give information. Very strange to me. But in the end, no one really had anything solid on this box pertaining to the children. Just someone's version of children not coming outside to play, standing in windows, never seeing the children. Where somebody parked their car or truck. Eyelashes on a damn van or truck. Yeah, I said it. Standing outside the mama's house. Breaking into vans. Idiotic behavior. And it doesn't look like behavior of people who care about children or the reputation of the biological mother. You say don't say anything bad about her, but yet you would do something that didn't show favor for her. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? It doesn't. Some of you asked about the children. Who will they go back to if they are indeed alive? Nobody. Are you serious? They're going back to anywhere. Foster care is where they would go back to. You all know that. It's that house. Something is about that house in Cal City. And that is why they went back there, the police. There's something at that house. And I think about the lady who was on Duty Ron's program the other day. And she said something that stuck out in my head when she said, there's nothing wrong with you helping out, looking for the children. But what you need to think about is if you discover something that could be evidence, you don't need to be rambling around with it because you don't know how useful it will be, such as teeth. And I thought about that. Teeth. Teeth. Stay woke. Teeth. They have identified people through DNA, through teeth. Are you hearing me? Teeth. Now ask yourself, why were they back at the house again? Looking through the dirt in the backyard? Going in the lot next door? Your right mind would say, oh, he's not stupid enough to bury anybody in that yard. That's out in the open. What fool would do that? I agree. So we go back to the video. When we see a figure going up and down on the night that he reported the children missing, what were you doing? Because you were right in that same spot where the plant holes were. So what was he doing? Up and down, up and down. A tall figure, which we could only assume it was Trezell, doing something in the backyard the same night he reported the children missing. So what were you doing? This case is sickening to me. There's something wrong. Is it possible that everyone involved knows each other? You've been questioning that. You've all been worrying me to death and other channel holders about the bio mom getting to the house too soon. I don't recollect any of that. December's a blur to me. But what I have to ask myself is, I think somebody knows somebody. This is a feeling I get. So I can't lean either way on what the hell happened with these kids. I'm teeter-tottering. Do somebody know somebody? Does somebody know somebody? Are the children alive? Are they hidden? Some of you keep asking that. And I think about what that anonymous person said in my Instagram account a month ago. Trezell told the children, the boys are gone with their biological grandparents. So I told this imaginary person in my inbox, but what are you talking about? Why are you in my inbox? What do you want me to say to the public? They didn't believe the source, so why would they believe you? Who are you? But the one thing I will say, in that long-winded paragraph this person wrote, they said something that was true. You're a very smart lady, put it together. I said, yes, indeed, I am smart, but I don't do riddles. So say what you mean. What are you saying? That family members have the children? What are you saying? So they're acting like they knew Trezell told these kids that those missing children are with the biological grandparents. I don't know. But you all have questioned that, so I'm bringing it up. What is the truth? Do all these people know each other? Are the children alive? Have they been hidden? What is the truth? But then the flip side of me says, I don't think that they're alive. I think something happened. Perhaps they were taken to that house and they were disassembled in Cal City. This is a very sick case. A very, very sick case because you don't know what to believe. You've got all kind of people jumping out of helicopters and planes trying to be important. But in the end, it is about the two kids. But you can't tell at this point because no one's telling you anything pertinent about the kids, such as law enforcement. And that's understandable because they have to preserve the case. And indeed, if they have an idea of where the children are, whether they're alive or deceased, or they have suspects, I would not want them to do anything to jimmy this case up, to appeal to the public. Because we want them to get this right. Because the children deserve that. As far as other rumors and rhetorics and sightings, I ain't even going there. It's something about that house. And I only came on today because I was talking to Air Force One and Queen, and we were up pondering our heads about all this nonsense with these case of his kids. And we're just in our minds trying to figure out what in God's name is with this case, because it's weird. And you don't know what to believe. And you've heard all kind of people talking about the case. A realtor, allegedly, loan officer. You don't even know these people. You don't even really know that he even got money from that lady. How do we really know? Trezell ain't told us nothing. He's not going to. He never had any intention to tell you anything. He or Jacqueline. And so many people immerse themselves in this case, acting like they care. But your behavior has shown that you never cared. You have been side pieces to a circus. Circus clowns. Bitching and moaning and talking crazy to people. Running back and forth to Facebook and YouTube like a damn junkie. Talking about nonsense and thinking somebody really cared. Only people care are people who are of the same caliber and cut from the same cloth. Wannabes. Making up shit. She don't have anything better to do. You don't know what to believe about these people. None of them. I wouldn't take a dog out there to California. Not to that damn desert anyway. And I feel sorry for these kids. And I'm going to say it until the truth is revealed. They never had a chance. They never had a chance. And it is time that some of you wake the fuck up and accept that they didn't. And stop sugarcoating shit. I don't give a damn about nobody's feelings. They were babies. Same with the other two kids. They didn't ask to come here. And they didn't ask for all of this. So you weigh it how you want to weigh it. But those were tiny babies caught up in a vicious system. And that is unfair to anyone with a pulse. To have to go from place to place. Lying in beds, homes with strangers. And now missing. You want to call in and weigh in, you can call me anytime. I have no fear of nothing. I am a child of God and I'm highly favored. And I don't run and I don't hide and I don't duck. This is my channel. And I speak the spoken word as I know it. And I don't deal in foolishness and silliness. I bring content. And I've been doing it since July of 2019. Yes. This is a sad case. You want to contact me, please. Turn it down.
Turn it down. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Say what you have to say.
Yes, ma'am. When you said body parts, and it's not hard at all as far as little children are concerned to get rid of body parts and dissolve them. Really, if you have a nice sized bathtub,
yes,
or one of those large wash tubs,
yes,
you can use lye, or you can use hydrochloric acid.
Yes.
In order to dissolve a body.
Right.
Okay. Bones and teeth do hold DNA, like one of the young ladies did say. Wait a minute. What's this?
Huh?
Wait a minute. Okay, so one of these little stupid commercials came on.
Look.
But
are you going to join us or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm joining you now.
Well, why are you talking about the commercial? Lord Jesus. You're losing your train of thought worrying about the TVs. Goodness grief.
No, but like I was saying, it's not easy to get rid of a little small body. It's not.
So what do you think about Cal City? The fact that was the focus all along. It's been the focus all along. The chief is not worried about any other locations but Cal City. So what do you think about that?
That's the right track. When he said he didn't have to go out to the desert, he didn't have to go along the waterways, you don't have to do any of that. If you think of what Trezell said, he stated that the boys were in the backyard with him while he was chopping wood. He took wood into the house. He came back outside. The boys weren't there. He went back in, asked Jackie, have you seen the boys? She said, no, they should be outside, playing with the dog.
Mm-hmm.
But she did not come out at all to do a search.
Mm-hmm.
Not one time did she come out and do a search. So why would she go on TV and say that she went out searching? No, she didn't.
Well, because she didn't know that nobody would find out. That's the whole point of lying. I don't know what you're going to see and not see, so I'll tell you anything. That's the whole purpose of lying.
There you go.
And let's talk about inside of the house. When he said he went back inside of the house, you asked why would he go? Why would he ask her had she seen the kids? Well, we know that. What did we say? He asked that did she see the kids in the house? Well, we know if you went right in and the kids went in, you would have seen the kids come back in.
There you go. There you go.
She would have seen the kids come in.
Stay outside, but I don't think he even told them to stay outside. They would have followed him back in that house.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know that the kids weren't outside. That's the point. So there was no need in him asking that.
When the dogs came to the house, they did not have any scent whatsoever outside. So the kids were never outside.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
the kids were in that house.
Well, let's talk about inside the house.
They destroyed those kids in that house.
Yeah, I think they dissolved the kids in the house. But we also got to remember this. We don't know what they took out in the bag. So let's talk about what could have been in the house. Were there beds for the children? Were there clothes in there? Because some of you arguing that about the clothes. And maybe they brought clothes from the other place. And what did I tell you all to focus on? Focus on what's been told to you. If I don't have pictures of the kids, I'm not going to have their things.
Right.
I want you gone. I don't want no memories of you. So what I have to ask myself, that if they could not give updated photos to the authorities and the Missing Persons Bureau, then you probably did not have clothes to give them of the children. So we have to ask ourselves, what did you give law enforcement when they came to the house? Jacqueline and Trezell, what did you give them? Did you give them clothes, shoes, coats, hairbrushes, combs? Because a lot of you have been arguing that for 2 months. You've been going back and forth about what was in the house. Were there beds there? Did they have a room? Blah, blah, blah. Toys. Maybe they brought things from Bakersfield with their scent on it. Let me tell you something. If indeed the children made it to Cal City, I don't know if they would have kept anything that belonged to the children. Now one could say, yeah, they kept something because they had to come up with this rules that the children were missing. So if they left that on the 19th, did they think it thoroughly through to get rid of stuff? Or did they say, we're going to keep some stuff to make it look like they have been living here? You understand what I'm saying? So we really don't know because we don't know what was taken out of the bags by the FBI. And that's what's going to be pivotal as well. What was taken out? Was there anything of the children inside of the house that actually belonged to the small children? And did they actually make it to Cal City? The only reason why I think that perhaps they did make it to Cal City is because the police have gone back to that said location recently. And you have to ask yourself, why in the world would they be going back, combing through dirt and the backyard? You have to have known something, seen something. Something came back from the lab, perhaps. The forensics, something perhaps came back. So they said, okay, we're going back out there to that house. And that's what you have to tell yourself. They didn't go to Bakersfield. They didn't go to Honolulu. They didn't go to LA. They went back to Cal City for a reason. So what you have to say, common sense, something's at that house. Because why would they go back with all these tools running over the dirt, then going to the lot next door? That was weird because it's like, well, they could have got tire track marks day one. You know, poured the cast down, let it harden, then pull it up, send it off to the lab. That would have been done day one for tire tracks. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's something at that house. There's something there.
Yeah, I see that you're feeling that.
Okay, Tammy says you can put sawdust on a full-grown cow, and in 1 to 2 days, it will all be gone. Wow. So you mean the on the carcass? What is she saying? On the carcass of the animal? Hello.
I don't know what she said there. Okay, I see what she said, but she didn't elaborate on it.
Chick Benny, I thank you for that comment. That's why the AD family and BioMom are not talking anymore. They're running scared. And why is that? Why would the BioMom be scared? You don't have anything to do with anything.
You know, is there somebody calling you?
Let me see. I don't even know who it is. Oh, go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay. Because this case is just, you know, like I said before, this is a worldwide circus with these folks. You know, they think we clowns, but they're the main attraction. You understand what I'm saying? They are the main attraction. And they put themselves out there as the main stars of this movie.
Who is that?
They really did. Trezell, Jackie, and Ryan.
Okay.
She not once went to that billboard, like you said. Not once did she come back on television, you know, to shed any tears or to shed any emotions. Not once. She's always busy. She's got a cold. Oh, she's at work. Whatever the case may be, you're supposed to be there getting support, as much support as you can for your children. Your children, the ones that you birth, the ones that you're supposed to love, the ones that you're supposed to be taking care of. But no, where are you? nowhere around. Nowhere around. You know, so I mean, that's messed up. You know, that really is. You know, so I mean, that's. I mean, sometimes I have to stare at my ceiling.
I see you was doing that earlier when I talked to you. I thought, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I thought, who's up there? I didn't know what was going on with you.
You know, because the conversation that we had, you know, we picked and picked and picked, and it's, you know, the picking has to stop now. You know, these folks have to come out with their shovels and dig these, you know, and try to dig up where they put the remains, or if they are dissolved, they have to pick up where they, you know, where the teeth are, where the bone, where their little bones are.
So, do you think that's what they were doing at the house? The police?
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah, because like they said, there was no scent of the boys outside of that house.
Okay.
It was all inside the house. Come on. Now, if you're gonna have your boys out there with you while you chopping wood, the scent is gonna be out there. He's stupid. He didn't think.
Well, he didn't plan. He didn't plan it. If we were to actually believe that the children were last seen with Trezell and Jacqueline on the 19th, if we are to believe that, I mean, nothing was planned properly. And so a lot of people are, you know, of course, still asking that, what was the main reason for this ruse? As I state, there have been so many variables pertaining to this case. Somebody once said a month or so ago that they feel like the case was fake. I read that. Someone said, this is a fake case. And so I'm trying to figure out, you know, like, well, what do they mean? Are they trying to say that these people, this is a hoax, that these people have concocted a lie, that the children are missing? Is it that the children aren't missing? Are they hidden somewhere? Are they hidden by the West or hidden with the Bio family? You know, you have to ask yourself all those things because you don't know anything. You don't know these people. This is why in the beginning I had stated I don't vouch. I did not vouch for any of these people involved because I don't know these people. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say, I believe this person here. I don't know these people from Adam. Why the hell would I believe anybody that is an actual parent or adoptive parent of some missing kids? I just brought you a story weeks ago of a Black man who broke into a foster home with somebody else, tied the people up, threw them down the basement stairs, and stole his 2 kids out of a foster home and took them on the run to Alabama. And the U.S. Marshals found the car, which was a rental out of the state of New York, with the children hiding in the floorboard under covers. And that's a real, actual story, not made up, not fake. So how in the hell can you say what happened in this case and who is and who ain't involved and getting an attitude about what someone's opinion is when someone just went and did the same damn thing up in the state of New York? Come on now.
Yeah, this case stinks to high heavens. It's a funky case. I mean,
okay, T-Star says they dissolved their bodies at the Cal City house. Wow, scary, horrendous. Yes, it is. Because that's the thing. It's that a lot of you want to believe that they never made it to the house. But the flip side of that is, why would the police go back to Cal City again to search? That has to tell you something there, that they know something is at that house. Something is at that house. They're not going to just keep going back there searching and bringing all these tools because they're bored.
Right.
They have other places that they could go search. They can go back to Bakersfield and search the last places that they lived. Why would they go back taking all their tools to Cal City? Because perhaps something came back from the lab with the evidence they took out in the bags. They don't have to tell you what they found in the bags. They don't have to tell you what evidence came back from the lab. They don't have to tell you what came back from the lab. That's why I know they found something. That's why they went back to the house.
Yeah.
They didn't go back there because they were bored. There's no way they went back there because they were bored. They found something. They found something. They found something.
Yeah, they did. You know, they just taking their time.
Yes.
Because they want them clowns to slip up so much.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They want them. They want them. And they don't have a care in the world. They don't care about the kids. They never cared about the kids. That's the very reason why the children are missing. They've never spoken but one time to the news, and their behavior was odd and peculiar. And that was just a ruse. That 13-minute interview to the public was a ruse. These two did not plan this out thoroughly. I do not know the reason why they decided to make up all this wild stuff about the children in the backyard and yah. When you look at said footage from other YouTube videos, you'll see the circumference of the backyard to the gate, from the gate to the front of the street, from the front of the street to the curb. There's no way those kids would have got out of your sight that fast. Even if they ran, we know that when they're small, they can run fast, but they wouldn't have gotten away to walk down a street where you couldn't see them because it's all flat land. It's not like you living in a place where there's trees and bushes and high grass and tall grass and swamps. You're talking about flat dirt. So you can see for miles out there, somebody walking. You can see for miles.
The neighbor who had the video camera, they would have probably have caught the kids, you know, walking down the street or running down the street.
Right.
You know? And you don't see that at all. You don't see that at all. All you see is Trezell getting in the passenger side of the van, going around the corner, one corner.
Yeah.
Okay? And then come back, stand next to the tree for about 6 or 10 minutes, then call the police. Come on. You're going to call the police right away. Jackie, you should have had her crazy tail running up and down the street. Anybody see my kids? You know, but I mean.
Well, you know, and that's something else we haven't addressed either, is why is it she was not out there looking? One could say, well, she stayed behind because he called the police. So his thing is, well, I went and looked and she stayed behind because we needed somebody here at the house just in case the police showed up, and I'm out here looking for the children. You always have to remember there's a flip side to everything that is spoken by a person.
Right. Now, here's another thing that I'm just thinking about. He says that she was in the house wrapping up Christmas gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the flip side could be maybe she was making sure everything was cleaned up.
Yes, of course. But see, because you're never going to know the truth. That's the thing. You're not inside the house, so you don't know what they were doing. Like I said, we do not know what is the truth pertaining to the children. We do not know the truth of how long the children have not been seen by other people, outside sources. We do not know what took place on December 21st. We do not know the reasons why they decided to report the children missing. Is it because CPS were coming for a visit? Has somebody been inquiring about the children? Has somebody called in about them and the children? Were there cases of abuse pertaining to the children? We will never know, because these people will never tell the truth.
Yeah, that's hood rat stuff.
Oh, it's all hood rat. And let me tell you all something about that. This case to me reminds me of Camille McKinney, Cupcake. The reason why I say this is because of all the side pieces who intervened and jumped in the case. Now, I will say that Dominic McKinney helped bring that on because he was talking bad about a female in his first live, and then he started talking later about Two Guns Vito and all these people. So he brought them into the fold of a case that they didn't have no business in. So when you have people bringing up people, then naturally they jump on the bandwagon. And then you have the female and the other females who were saying they saw him with the child in the wrapped up in a sheet and all that old stuff. Now we're hearing the same type of jargon about sheets and wrapped up. And I'm starting to say, well, wow. Are we starting to go back to the Cupcake days with this case? You understand what I'm saying? Why am I seeing similarities of he said, she said, a baby's being covered up and all this old type of foolishness? It's looking like the same old stuff from Cupcake. That's what I'm seeing. And Cupcake got out of control because a baby daddy didn't know when to keep his damn mouth closed. Now, everybody starts jumping on, talking about the baby daddy, what kind of person he was, what he did for a living. He was a stick-up guy. He robbed people. So you see people fed off of that. Next thing you know, you got all these people gossiping and talking about these parents and what they did and didn't do and who knew who and who knew the suspects. And this, it went like that because they're street people. And when you deal with street people, you get this type of rhetoric. You have seen thousands of people go missing, and you never heard this type of foolishness in their cases. You just heard they were missing. Here's the mama, here's the daddy, grandparents, good friends, co-workers, bosses wanting to find them. You don't hear of all this old crazy rhetoric and crazy people jumping out of, airplanes and shoe boxes and shit, wanting them 5 minutes of fame on some kids. Only street people do that.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people missing right now, and you don't have all this extra he said, she said, hoopla stuff. You might hear a little bit of gossip. People that want to say, well, the victim did this, or this one did this, or they were living like this. I mean, that's to be expected. But when you start having all this old extra stuff, all the stuff that you've seen on YouTube pertaining to these kids and the people on the ground, that stuff shouldn't even be happening.
Right. Because
in the end, it doesn't have anything to do with the kids. And let's just keep it real. The only thing that should be a focus, should have been the people involved in the case, the people who could possibly be involved in the case, not this other side show shit. And I just think it's just so sad and disrespectful to have all these extra people with all these personal problems, bickering with other people about stuff. It doesn't have anything to do with the kids. You don't even know the kids. That's the crazy part about this case, is that all this extra, BS, it has nothing to do with the boys. These people don't even know these kids. And we know they probably couldn't even point them out if they saw them walking down the damn street right now.
That's true.
I'm just keeping it 100. It's just been a YouTube sideshow. Nothing to do with these kids. Nothing. But this is expected when you're dealing with ghetto ratchet people. Yeah. Because there are people missing right now, and you do not hear this type of foolishness going on pertaining to their disappearance. You have genuine people out here concerned about them, wanting to find them, asking for the public's help, numbers to call if you have information. You're not hearing all this type of stuff and YouTube videos and people uploading stuff about foolishness and nonsense, and you just don't. Because I know a lot of people are missing right now, and their story is not even on YouTube. No YouTuber's channel, and none of this old side stuff, crazy stuff that, to me, like I said, is just disrespectful to the kids.
Yeah. And
like I said, you don't have to agree with everybody's content on their channel or like who they brought to speak. But my thing is, every story has a beginning. You should want to start at the beginning. I don't know why anybody wants to start in the middle of a damn story. You don't go buy a book and start at the damn middle and expect to understand the damn ending.
Right.
But some of you think like that. And you all have raised holy war on YouTube, on my name, and Facebook, when in the end, it ain't about everyday shenanigans. It ain't even about the source. It's about the kids. And trying to get an understanding to how these kids got in the situation they got in to get to the West House, who's all involved. That's what you should be wondering. Who's all involved? Because you don't know anything. You can rally for whoever you want to. But I tell you what, you'll feel like a damn fool if you found out otherwise.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that's been proven in the case in New York. That guy went and broke in that house and stole his kids out that foster home. And what we have to ask ourselves in that case, how the hell did he know that his kids were in that foster home? Because he's also the same person who went to the kid's school last January 2020 and stood outside and waited on his son and attempted to kidnap him from the school. You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Okay. And he was apprehended trying to take his son. Then you fast forward a year later, January 2021, he succeeds by going to the foster home, which is down the street from his mom and daddy's house. Stay woke. Stay woke. And breaks into the house through a window and steals his kids out of the foster home. So what you have to ask yourself, how did he know that the kids lived at this house?
Hello. Come on.
How is it that his brother plays dumb and says, I didn't know they lived down the street in the foster home? Because me and my brother don't speak. So if anything I want to know, I talk to my mom about him. So you mean to tell me you didn't know your nephew and niece were living down the street in a foster home? Yeah, okay. In a small town, upstate New York? Stay woke. People talk. People talk. People tell things. You're not going to make me believe in small suburbia you didn't know your niece and nephew lived down the street in a foster home. 1. 2, your mom and daddy didn't know the kids stayed down the street in a foster home. 3, the same kids used to live with your mom and daddy before getting put in a foster home. Why? Why they don't have them? Now, baby daddy knows where the foster home is. Stay woke.
Come on now. Come on.
I've been woke.
Come on. Come on now.
As a police officer said to me last spring, there are no coincidences in criminal law. None. So y'all keep listening to all that stuff you're hearing. Foolishness. I still believe somebody knows somebody in this case. I think all these parties know of each other. I just got that funky feeling. And the source will tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. And how did Ryan know where those boys were? Right back to what you just finished saying. Somebody knew. Somebody told her where those boys were, and she was there, 45 to 50 minutes before
Thank
the
you,
news
Snickers.
crew came?
Say what, baby? I can't hear you.
The Ryan deal,
What about her?
you know, where she had gotten up to the house before the news crew came.
Yeah, well, they're saying that somebody called her or something and told her, but still that don't make sense to me either, because it's like when kids go missing, I don't think they directly tell you an address of the location. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that struck me odd. And a lot of people have been saying that too about her showing up to the house, but I don't know, because like I said, I don't know what was said. I just think it would be odd for a legal address to be mentioned in an abduction, because just like when you get an Amber Alert, they don't have the address on the Amber Alert. I haven't seen one address on an Amber Alert that I've gotten, and I've gotten an Amber Alert recently, and there was no address on the Amber Alert. And those of you who are questioning that, let me explain the Amber Alert to you. The reason that there was no Amber Alert in this case of the missing boys is because you have to have an identifying factor in an Amber Alert. That means, 1, there has to be a car with a tag number, a make and model, and a person to verify that they saw said children entering the vehicle with a suspect or more. Okay? 2, you saw a said persons leave that location with the children in tow. So if you do not have those identifying factors, there will not be an Amber Alert. And this is why the chief has always said his investigation is started at the West House, for those who do not know.
Yeah, sure enough.
Okay, Kay says that it was announced, the address of the APs. Okay, Kay. So that's what a lot of people were questioning, is how did she know what house to go to about the children, because I thought it would be weird to mention an address, with children missing. I just haven't heard of any address being mentioned when children went missing. You understand what I'm saying? When they first mentioned a story on the news or whatever, I don't ever recollect ever hearing an address mentioned, just like here locally where I live, of an address pertaining to the children.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dawn.
Okay, thank you, lady.
Thank you. I'm gonna let old Night Owl get up here. Love you.
Right.
Bye, baby.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, Night. Hold on one second. Did I hang up? Just hang up.
Okay, I'm trying to find it.
Just hit the X, honey.
Oh yeah, I am. What? You go
hit the X on your button, honey, on the screen.
Yeah, I know, but I gotta get there. Come on, this thing doing here.
Oh my God! Hit the X on the screen. Golly, I don't know what to do with you.
Am I gone?
No, you're not. You are. Oh my God! Y'all messing me up. I'm trying to see these pictures. Pretty K, thanks for the pictures. I'm looking at something. This is obviously a baby daddy with the 2 children and 3 other children. Obviously during a CPS visit. Bio uncle recently from jail who has history of kidnapping 2 in 1 month. Lena Smith, what are you talking about? Lord have mercy. I think this picture is interesting of this guy. I guess he's also in another photo with the bio mom. And you can see that you can tell that this is a business room with toys and stuff. CPS office, I guess. He's also the guy in one of these other pictures up here with her, I guess. I can't blow it up. Damn. So that's the same guy in the picture with the kids as infants and 3 other boys in a picture, I guess, at a CPS meeting room. I think this is all sad to me. So he obviously visited his children. CPS visit. Yet the kids ended up gone. I don't know. It's crazy to me. It's all sad to me. Very, very sad to me. Oh, God, Jesus. Thank you, Brandy.
Hey, dear.
Hey, sorry about that. I was trying to check some stuff out because somebody was sending me pictures and stuff. Go ahead. Whoops. Sorry. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, uh-huh. You ready?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Wow. I wasn't prepared for this one, but
This is Night Owl.
Hey, everybody in the chat. It's me, Night Owl. But I'm going to go on and kind of swing it from what we've been saying. From the very beginning, I've been rolling with everything we've discussed and everything that made sense. And this is just my honest opinion. My honest opinion is that the children are no longer here. That's number one. And that everyone failed the children. I know a lot of people had an issue with us speaking of the bio mom. And my reason, this is me, this is not the channel holder's opinion. My own opinion is, if the bio mom would have took full accountability for her mishap and her wrongdoing at the start of this entire case, then people wouldn't have been so harsh to speak on their feelings about it. And I'm simply saying that if the bio mom never failed her kid, then there never would have been a CPS call or removal of children, and it wouldn't have been the West family. And I commend you, Miss Angela, for your resilience through this entire ordeal that's trying to bring us the story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just unfortunate all the bullying and stalking and nasty messages that you receive. And anywhere I go, which is only to Queen Talks Crime channel, I constantly am going to still support you and say that I'm standing 10 toes down with you, the source, Queen Talks Crime. Period, point blank. No one is going to sway my mind. as far as conspiracy theories, I don't want to get into that, as I mentioned to someone in the chat. But let's look at the facts. The facts are what they are. If the police say they suspect foul play, then there's no other reason to go into the ocean, the desert, other homes, or anything like that looking for evidence. Although we want answers because we are just impatient, the police has to have time to build up a great enough case with or without bodies in order to get a conviction. The DA can't go to court, have cop duty, and expect to put these two individuals behind bars either for a lot of years or for the rest of their natural life. And that's something I think everybody should understand. Like, we want the boys found, yes. But even if they are not even recovered, we still want justice for them. Now, do I believe that people know people? Yes, I said it day one that everything was like a farce for us. It was like interviews done with misinformation, press conference was done with the adopted family. They could have gave less than a damn to be there. So that told me all what I needed to know on how well they treated their children. And yes, DNA can be extracted several different ways. If you watch Crime ID, Discovery ID, whatever. And it does take a long time to get answers back. What some people don't know is a lot of departments use the same laboratories for results. And sometimes they have so many cases that it can take from months to years before they get a hit or an answer back. It doesn't come overnight. It can't come half-cocked and then they won't. Because you got to understand, if you don't get a conviction the first time for whatever you charge the defendant with, it's no do-overs. It's no do-overs. And if we want justice truly for the boys, then everyone should have enough common sense to listen, whether you agree or disagree, and move on. I'm not trying to sway nobody else's mind, but you have to be respectful when you go to people platforms and you want to voice your opinions. Because if you don't understand how law works, how the criminal justice system really works, this is not CSI, forensic files, or any of that. You don't get an answer within 30 minutes, 2 weeks, or 2 months. It can take years to build up a good case. And if you truly have a heart for children, as I said before, you can look around in your everyday life and see a person that needs help with a child, or a child that needs to be removed from a home, or a parent that needs parenting lessons, or anything that can help them be a better parent to the children they have, instead of having time to bash people that are only giving commentary. And I'm going to say it again. The system did not fail the children. The people who were supposed to raise the children failed the children. CPS comes after an incident has happened, not before. So I'm one of them people that has to understand that too. CPS couldn't have failed something if it wasn't nothing to be there from the beginning for. And everybody can hate who they want to hate. It doesn't change what has happened. That's why I implore people not to harass the adopted family, nor the bio family. Don't go searching through garbage cans, under bleachers, and windows, playing detective. Because you can mumble up a case that nobody goes to trial. And nobody wants that. I just want justice for these children, as I do with all children that are victims of horrendous crime. But in no way would I ever bully, bash, say anything negative to any person that's covering the case, whether I agree or disagree. If you don't like the commentary, simply move on. I grew up with the motto and was taught, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So that's my 5-minute rant on what I feel about the case.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I'm just gonna stick with the facts as they come out. But common sense should tell you if the police did foul play and they had no problem saying their word in their conference, I don't understand how people can't put that together. It's not really hard to put together. So leave the adoptive family alone. Stop doxing those people and all of that, as I also said, because you can muddy up a case so bad by just calling yourself helping that they never go to trial. Do y'all know that it's actual people walking around that have done crime that have never seen a courthouse? If you truly care about the board, wait on the facts, respect people's opinion as they should respect yours. You don't have to be nasty and vile. And like I said, look at your own community and children that need that same help so they won't end up in the system or they won't end up in a horrific situation. These are things we can do as a people to help our young people, help young parents, teach them what they don't know, so that their children don't go through this. And we can break the cycle by being a community first within ourselves and to others around us. You see something? Say something. Don't act like, oh, well, it ain't my kids and I do my kids. There might be a child that ends up on Dateline. How would you feel if you know you could have helped and you didn't help? We don't want anybody coming after the fact when you could have been there when it was going on. That's like saying, oh, yeah, I seen the little boy in the street running after a ball. A car was coming, but there wasn't none of my little boy. And then when something, little boy hit by a car. Oh, my God, how did this happen? He has bad parents. You never know a person's situation. And, hey, I tell you firsthand, I have people that dealt with CPS. I've had people, including myself. Yeah. And it was all a misunderstanding. But the fact that remains, and the truth of the matter, I didn't have no problem having it closed once they saw everything they needed to happen. It didn't take me a long amount of time, 2 to 3 months, with my youngest daughter. So when people say that we don't know and you shouldn't ask people that been through CPS, I've been through CPS. Now, one of my kids been removed. They haven't been abused, neglected, left, any of those things. There's a misunderstanding. Somebody thought they were doing a great thing because they thought my daughter had a bruise on her arm. Once they met my kids and talked, they flowed. So I gave a little bit of my life to somebody, to people that feel like we only say, oh, well, you don't understand how they work. I live in the South. I understand exactly how they work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, every situation isn't the same. That's what people got to understand about dealing with any type of situation, crime, CPS, the police, a court hearing. What goes on over here is not going to go on over here. Everybody's case is different. Everybody involved in the case is different. So you can't judge two situations the same. I don't know why people can't understand that.
Well, that's why I gave a little bit of myself and said, yes, I've dealt with them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I'm in the most southernest state.
You are crooked letter I, baby. That is sure enough whistling Dixie.
I'm in Dixieland. So for the people that
Amen.
don't know, I'm in Dixieland. And so imagine when Dixieland comes to your house and you're like, what happened? And then they have to go and say, nothing was wrong. We are truly sorry. Don't worry about this. I just only give that to the people that say, well, you don't understand CPS. I know people kids at CPS. I have a friend who went through CPS. I've heard the story. I've heard all that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is what I say. If you see something, say something. Somebody thought they saw something, wasn't even there. I was good. In this case, a baby leg was broke. That's a big ordeal to let slide through the system. They can't let broken bones.
Well, they can't. Well, yeah, because they know, the doctor knew. That's why I keep telling people that you can judge the situation however you want in this case, but you cannot deny the fact that a baby, an infant child's leg was fractured. You can't fracture that leg by accident. It's been said 1,000 times from nurses, doctors. Is the longest bone in the body. You cannot just break it. You cannot just fracture it. And when you're talking about an infant, you're talking about a child that could not walk, could not turn over, could not pop up, jump up. So how would it get fractured when the child can't even roll over? But yet you all don't want to acknowledge that. You want to keep talking about the West family, the West family. We know the West had the kids. We know this. But still, it's the beginning of the story is that the children got there because the state was involved. Yes, I believe that. I believe they were mistreated. And what you have to also ask yourself is what was going on with the older children? If we already have two separate incidents of two small ones, damn, what the hell was going on with the older kids? Who was doing stuff to them? See, you don't even know all this. And nobody's going to come forward and tell the truth. Oh, yeah, we were abusing these other kids. We was mistreating these kids. CPS didn't just fall into somebody's lap 2 separate times with 2 separate children 1 year apart. Then the biological fathers came in and took the older children because of what happened with the babies. And by the grace of God, they stepped in. Amen. I mean, I say kudos to them for stepping up, because what if those guys didn't have their lives together to where they could step up, or they didn't have family members that could take the children in? See, ain't nobody even thinking about those 2 older kids. Y'all don't even talk about those older kids. Y'all just want to sugarcoat what the hell happened with the babies.
We can't sugarcoat it. We're not going to sugarcoat it. And
I mean, I don't understand the mindset of some of you people. I just, and my thing is, it's not even about being judgmental. It's just that every story has a beginning. And I just can't understand how anybody don't want to ask themselves, well, what happened? Because what you have to ask yourself, if the bio mom never came forward, you wouldn't have never known anything about what happened with them. You would have just been saying, okay, 2 kids are missing. 2 kids are missing from an adoptive family. That's all you would have known.
Why haven't people requested that the bio mom just stay wide so hard? Did she ever press charges on the person that broke her baby leg?
See, I wondered that too. What happened to the person? What happened to the person that fractured the child's leg, or allegedly fractured? From my understanding, this is all alleged. They couldn't prove who fractured the leg, but this person who was in my inbox a month ago was basically saying that the biological mother was the culprit of fracturing the leg. I do not know if that's true. Let me say that. I do not know. This is just what someone said in my inbox. I was like, well, I don't know, because I don't know these people. I don't know anything, but I am curious to whatever happened to the person who they assume, CPS assume, fractured the leg. You don't hear anything about that. Y'all just want to say, well, the West did it. They were over there, so it don't matter about what happened to them. But you all didn't mind talking crazy about the 2 people that beat the 5-week-old 2 weeks ago in the hotel in California. Y'all didn't mind talking bad about them. And that baby had a broke femur. His leg was broke. When that dead baby got to the hospital, they said that's the first thing they noticed. And I read you the article. The leg appeared broke. Y'all called him every name in the book. So what I want to know is, what's the difference between the 5-week-old that's dead in California versus this kid here who had a cracked femur at 3 months? The only difference is this little baby lived to go into foster care. But y'all don't say nothing bad about that. But y'all cried him on. I brought that article the other day about a 5-week-old getting beat up by the mom and daddy. And he had a broke femur. And they were every dirty dog. But in this case, no, we don't want to talk about the baby mama. We don't want to talk about that baby mama. No. I don't understand. I don't understand that kind of reason. I mean, I don't understand that.
What I think about that is, the bio mom should, if she's gonna come out, tell who that person was, and what kind of people are you around that will harm your baby. Why did the person feel that they can break your baby leg?
Melissa, I don't know. Just like somebody in my inbox said, everybody's walking around like they're in a damn occult pertaining to this case. Y'all acting like y'all in a damn a bunch of witches and shit. I don't know what your problem is. Why you think it's okay to have people fracturing kid legs, and one came in the world, couldn't breathe, was in the NIC unit for almost a damn month. 2 separate kids. 2 separate kids.
Like,
2 separate kids
are these everyday people
taken by the state, and y'all think that's okay?
No, these are the questions I have because it needs me to have the children without the care. Like, what kind of people are you around that has that kind of deviant personality to harm a child? Because
it don't matter.
The first child,
but it don't matter. Remember?
Been going on, and you notice the behaviors. And
well, it's the past.
You are negligent.
It's the past. Remember, it's the past. Don't nobody care. Don't nobody care about how the two. Don't nobody care about how the 2 kids were abused, and one had the second one was allegedly was said exposure to marijuana and alcohol fetal syndrome. Couldn't breathe on his own. That's why he was in the NIC unit for almost a whole month. Mama didn't go visit him. But that don't matter. That ain't important.
I believe everything the source.
That don't matter. I didn't know that not being able to breathe. I didn't know that not being able to breathe wasn't a big issue. Wow.
Being exposed to marijuana and alcohol fetal syndrome is a very real thing. I have a cousin that was born that way. It's a very real thing. It's a traumatic thing.
These some new folks out here. These some new people out here.
I mean, that's common sense. I mean,
it just
they can't be this. Yes, they can. But that's common sense.
No, what the problem is, they're picking and choosing. People are picking and choosing what to focus on. You want to pretend that nothing happened to the kids, which got them into CPS custody, and your focus is only on the West family. We know the West family did something to the kids. We already know that. All I'm saying is someone reached out to say, hey, I want to tell you what was going on beforehand. I listened to what they had to say. That's my choice. That's my choice. You don't have to like it. I didn't ask your opinion any damn way. I didn't ask for you. I didn't send for you. And I listened to what the person had to say. I made a decision. And I gave the information.
You only bring back.
Well, my thing is, like I've said 1,000 times, if the source never had contacted me, it wouldn't have mattered. I already knew something was suspect once I found out 2 kids were removed a year apart from each other. Two older children were removed when the 2 got removed. That the father stepped in when the 2 got gone because they were worried about the safety of the children. So what you also have to ask yourself is, if 2 babies got removed by CPS a year apart from each other, 2 different baby daddies, why would these 2 older children's fathers step in to take their children out from you, or not let you visit or keep the kids, or whatever the situation was? Then that means they're also saying the same thing that CPS thought. You're not fit to be around your own damn kids. But don't nobody care about that.
There you go.
Thank you. 2 other baby daddies. You forgot about them 2, did you not? There were 2 other baby daddies that got their children, went on about their separate way.
Come on now.
Because they felt like she wasn't fit because the babies were taken. And you have to ask yourself, the first 2, they're a year apart. So that's 2 separate incidents where CPS came into this woman's life, yet you don't give a damn about none of that. We don't care. We don't care about the leg. We don't care that the second one couldn't breathe. He was in a hospital alone with no love, no comfort. The mother's not up there rocking her baby, talking to her baby, kissing on her baby. He's laying in a little bitty glass case alone without a mother's touch. Oh, fuck that. We don't care. We don't give a damn. We don't give a damn. That's irrelevant. All right.
You better land that thing. See, this is what I love this channel for, because, I mean, nobody is saying, why is this one mother having this many CPS issues? Because she is negligent. And if she wasn't negligent, it wouldn't be a West family. We know the West family don't care. We know that.
Right, JR. She has 4 kids with 4 fathers. I mean, that's a lot for a young person. 4 different fathers, 4 different incidents involving CPS in the court system. 2 taken by the state. 2 taken by the state. 2 baby daddies stepped in, and my understanding took her to court to get the 2 children, the 2 older children. So that says a lot, that they didn't even trust you to have the older children. Well, yet I'm a villain. How am I a villain? Somebody brought me this information. I didn't even know this woman's business. I didn't know nothing about her having the two older kids, that these fathers stepped in when the two babies got taken, but yet nobody wants to acknowledge that the babies didn't have a chance from the beginning. That's why the source came forward. They just wanted you to know that the children didn't stand a chance from the beginning. And this is how they ended up with the West family. The children were cheated. The children were cheated.
Without the Wyatt.
That's my point.
You know how I feel about the young thing. If you have one, I can understand.
Yeah. One incident with a kid, that's between you and God. How y'all work out your salvation, what you did wrong with your kid. You're talking about 4 kids. Damn. Yeah. It's like, what is the deal? 4 kids, 4 separate situations. And you don't want to acknowledge anything. You want to keep blaming the West. We know the West did something. We know this. But damn, the kids had a start. They didn't ask to be here. They didn't choose her. They didn't choose her raggedy ass.
And she didn't choose them.
And they didn't choose their baby daddies. And don't you find it odd? Nobody stepped up to take these kids in, but yet you want to be in my inbox talking crazy to me, threatening me?
Don't come with that wah-wah.
How the hell you gonna threaten me when you couldn't even obviously pass a background check to take the kids in? See, that's what you should be worried about. Why you couldn't pass no background check to get your grandkids? I ain't what, hey, a spade is a spade. A dog is a dog. A duck is a duck.
Pass the collection plate.
Queen ain't got nothing to do with what went on with them babies.
Nothing.
YouTube ain't got nothing to do with them babies. Facebook ain't got nothing to do with them babies. All them clout chasers running around like ducks. They ain't got nothing to do with it. Any decision that was made about those kids was made in conception, birth. Nothing to do with everyday shenanigans. Nothing to do with the source. Nothing to do with Facebook. Nothing to do with YouTubers. Nothing to do with commenters. Somebody laid down, made children, made bad decisions, got their children taken one by one by one by one by one. Ain't got a damn thing to do with YouTube.
Or you, or us, or anybody.
That's the spoken word.
They didn't choose her, and she damn sure didn't choose them. And I'm gone on that note, because you said everything need to be said.
I just never seen people that's not woke.
Girl, it ain't woke, they stupid.
Well, this is what I'm going to say. If you think it's okay for somebody to abuse their kid, allow people to abuse their children, all their children get taken by CPS and fathers, mothers, whoever, take the said parties to court and leave you with not even one child, then that means you are cut from the same cloth and you think the same and you are sick yourself, because there's no way you can logically explain 4 different children taken out of somebody's custody at 4 separate times. That's not even logical. And in the end, the West family, and let's be truthful, listen, the West don't even have nothing to do with that. Really? They're just some old sap folks that was hustling money to get kids. So it wouldn't have been somebody else's kid, because they just hustle children, the West family. That's their game. They're foster care hustlers. They're foster care hustlers. So if it wouldn't been them 2 babies, it's going to be somebody else, just like the 2 that they got. Whether they're adopted or fostered, they don't care.
Unfortunately, it would have been.
But the point is, the children had a start. Well, the children had a start. They didn't have what they needed to sustain a proper life in the beginning. That is why they ended up in CPS's custody. And that don't have nothing, even that don't really have anything to do with the West or anybody else. It just don't. The West just came in.
It got something to do with that mammy.
And they took the children in, and then they finished where Ron Dean left off. On God.
Not giving a damn. That's where they left out. That's where they left out. This is all we've been saying, and I'm standing 10 toes down behind you on it. And that's on that.
All right.
All right, I'm going back in the chat, babe.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Love you too. That was Night Owl. Yes, Nene, all that. It's sad. It's very, 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 very sad. Nobody cared. And anybody want to play nice. Sickening to me. I don't know you. I'm calling you, Brittany. Well, I guess you're not answering.
How's it going?
Hi.
Hold on 1 second. Let me
Okay.
situate my kid. Okay. How are you doing? So did you hear about Quincy Dean?
You called to give me some gossip. I don't know who that is.
This is so the bio mom's brother
Okay.
that lives with her was arrested in December, right before the boys went missing for kidnapping 2 children.
Kidnapping children out of where?
California. One was, how old was that little girl? 5 years old? A 5-year-old little girl. He ran into her parents' truck or whatever and then tried to kidnap her out of the backseat, and the cops got him. And then the other incident, I think, if I remember right, it was a little boy and tried the same thing, so he got arrested. But this was literally right before the boys went missing. He had a $150,000 bond.
So you saying? So let me wait. Just slow down for a second. So you saying Ryan Dean, the biological mother of the missing children, has a brother that's attempted 2 kidnappings?
Yes, Quincy Dean.
Quincy Dean, but they ain't talking about that on nobody else. But they ain't talking about that nowhere else, huh?
Nope, but it's on the news.
When did you see it?
Literally right before the bio kids went missing, or the
so repeat that again and say it slowly. Back in December, the biological mother's brother, the uncle of the children.
Okay, so Quincy Dean.
Okay.
Back in December, got arrested for almost this little girl by running into her parents' vehicle, opening the back door. Kidnapping, and so he was all over the news, and I was like, wow, why have we never heard of this until recent? And so I was looking at the news, and he just was like, wow, okay, and she actually lives with this guy.
Okay, Snickers said yes, Bio Mom was trying to raise bail to help him get out. So he hit somebody's car, and he tried to take their child out the car?
Correct. And then the dad of the little girl, I guess, held him in a chokehold until the police got there.
Okay, so that's incident number 1. Hello?
Now, my perspective, I
wait. You said listen. That was incident number 1. You said you had another incident that you heard of. She's breaking up.
Yeah, so let me...
Well, what's the second incident, sweetheart?
Hold on. Hold on.
Lord have mercy. Where are these people from? Jesus Christ, help me. Sick.
Hold on. Okay, so It's loading. So, man accused of trying to kidnap 5-year-old girl said that he was can't find the baby boy one, but this was the little girl. She was 5 years old, not 11.
Okay, fine. Snicker says also her GoFundMe goal was the same amount of his bail. Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. I was thinking that to myself. That's why I was wondering what's the timeline on this. Okay, so first, one incident is a little girl out of a car that he hit. So did he hit him on purpose? What are you trying to say? He hit the people's car on purpose to steal the kid, or he hit him by mistake? I don't understand.
Yeah, so he said, Dean said that he was trying to stop the person that was transporting the little girl that he was looking for. And an investigator he was looking for inside the vehicle, he found the little girl. He then hit the vehicle, attempted to remove the little girl from the vehicle when the little girl's dad stepped out and held him in a chokehold until police and authorities arrived.
So
was ordered held on $150,000 bail.
So what is this they're saying? He knew these people in his car?
No, he didn't know them. He was on drugs.
Oh, he was doped up and he was just trying to steal a car is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So he was trying to carjack somebody. Huh?
Yeah.
So he tried to steal a car and it had a kid in it.
No. He was driving his own car and ran into the family that was driving their own car to steal the little girl that was in the back seat.
For what?
Because he was on drugs.
Okay, to steal a kid and do what though?
Just because he said that he'd been looking for her.
He said he been what?
Well, that I don't know. But luckily he didn't get away with it.
I didn't hear what you said. He been what?
And then no, I don't know what he was trying to do with her, but he didn't get away with her.
This don't make no sense.
The dad had ended up getting out of the driver's seat.
Okay, Leanne says he was high on acid, the report said. So I do find it interesting. Yeah, y'all don't like going to people's past and stuff. Trying to steal a kid. I mean, why would you be trying to steal a little kid? For what? Now, I don't know if this have anything to do with these children. I don't know. That's weird as hell. These are weird ass folks. But y'all like them out there. But y'all like them. Y'all like them. Y'all like the bio family. Y'all all up on Facebook worried about me. Talking about me. Yeah, this y'all ride or die with that. Goofy ass folks. Stupid. Gutter trash.
Right. Seeing now every time anybody has a problem with the biofam, everybody jumps to conclusions, starts attacking you. Now,
Willow Gardner said so. Maybe she had someone take her kids to them back. Just a thought. Yeah, because you don't know these people. Well, my thing is you don't know these people. I've said this 1,000 times. When you're dealing with situations with missing children, missing people, you don't know who's involved. You don't know who knows anybody. You don't know anything. So how can you rally for people you don't even know? You're talking about missing babies. How the hell can you rally for somebody that you don't know? That makes no sense to me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
To me, is like like you said, all the GoFundMes and stuff. Like, where were you guys when these kids needed a family to go to? You know, where were you guys the whole time they were, allegedly being abused with the bio mom? Where were you guys when they needed help? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden they're missing. Now you need all this money for what?
Right. You don't got the kids. The kids haven't been seen.
Right. I'm like, and then you need money. You need to GoFundMe for attorney fees. Attorney fees for what?
Oh, well, the assumption that she's going to get a lawyer, I guess. I don't know. I don't know these people. And what I've seen, I don't like.
Right.
Stupid.
Everybody, it's between the bio family and the adoptive family, every single one of them have a hidden agenda.
Yes, and that is what's going on. And that is the point I've tried to make from day one. You do not know these people involved that brought the children here, that adopted the children. So how in God's name can you rally for strangers that you know nothing about? And all you've been hearing is GoFundMe pages that are now no longer. Why? You couldn't wait to get the money, but yet you take the pages down. Why? If you're trying to get some money for whatever reason, why would you take the pages down? Right. See, I never understood any of that. That's why I never talked about any of that stuff, because to me it was pointless to even discuss it. It just was pointless.
Right.
And all these other relatives
Like,
coming out.
Like the bio dad's aunts or the bio dad's sisters and stuff coming out of the woodworks. Like, you know, I get wanting to help and search for them and stuff, but why do you need all this money? What are you trying to do with all this money? The billboards and stuff, okay, that's one thing. Okay, no problem. I have nothing against the billboards. But everything else, okay, so attorney fees and, oh, I need money to help search for them and stuff like that. Okay, well, if that is your family, and allegedly, you know, how they have all this money. Now, our family, you know, my uncles and stuff, they all have a lot of money, and I'm not saying that they're, oh, here, you know, here's $1,000 or whatever else, because I know people aren't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, if you're really trying to help for them and that's your dad or whatever else, why aren't they helping as well? But
right.
You need money from everybody
but
else.
allegedly, her daddy's a millionaire.
The what? I'm sorry?
Allegedly, her daddy's a millionaire. I told somebody, well, he must be a new he must be a new millionaire. He must be a new millionaire, because if you just got some money, it still wouldn't matter. She wouldn't need a GoFundMe page. You just say, here's the money to search. Here's the money for billboards. Here's the money for flyers. Why you all up in my DM? Daddy,
right.
Mama, whichever one it was of y'all that was in the inbox. Say what?
Then you get random people that don't know them from Adam or Eve or whatever that are trying to start these GoFundMe. Oh, well, we're going to make sure.
That's why I don't understand.
We can print them off. You know, and I'm like, we can make our own stuff. Like, why are you raising all this money? And you send them out, okay, I'm going to sell these shirts for $45. I made it for $2, but I'm going to sell it for $50 a pop. You know, it's like, okay, so they're going to pay this much money. What are you doing?
I wouldn't give nobody a damn dime. Anybody with sense would have went to the people who put up the pledges for the reward to say, would you mind taking some of that money to put up flyers and billboards? That's what somebody should have done, was went to the people who pledged the money, such as the city. They should have gone to the city council or whoever was running the reward and asked, could they take a portion of that money out to put up flyers and a billboard? Wouldn't that have made sense? To ask the people who pledged the money.
I seen one of your comments that says, why are you trying to help your brother bail out after kidnapping some kid? And that's exactly, so you're trying to get attorney fees and stuff like that just in time when your brother got arrested for trying to kidnap these kids, and you're requesting the same amount that his bond is.
So the bond was how much?
Everything, like, you know, everything is just.
How much was the bond?
$150,000.
Okay, so somebody had said to me they saw. Somebody had said they saw on one of the GoFundMe's for about $40,000 or $45,000. Is that true? Did you verify that? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
So how much was it?
Taken down for fraud.
I mean, how much was it? How much was it?
45,000.
Okay, that's what the source said, 45,000. But then there was another GoFundMe for 15,000 that everybody thought was for the lawyer fees, right?
Correct.
Okay, so why do you have all these GoFundMes for children that nobody's seen? We haven't seen them yet. We don't know if they're alive or deceased. And you got different GoFundMe pages for children that you don't have. You don't have custody of them. Nobody's seen the kids. So why do you need all these different GoFundMe pages? But yet y'all want to get mad at somebody for questioning that. You don't want nobody saying nothing about the biological mother. You don't want them saying nothing about all these damn jackals jumping up out the damn ground, acting like they're so concerned. But once again, public knowledge, the children ended up in foster care. So where were these family members when these kids needed a voice, needed a bed, needed a warm blanket, needed love, needed someone to step up for them? Because you couldn't obviously get them. Right, all that. But like I said, I don't blame everybody related to these babies because I don't know all their family members. I can't talk about a person way over in Washington State or New York related to the kids. I'm talking about these jackals that's right around the vicinity.
Even in that aspect, if they didn't know that the kids were being taken and didn't know that they needed a home to go to within the family, you know, I mean, that's understandable. But you have like immediate family members.
Yeah, we're talking about the immediate family. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The grandparents.
Why didn't you protect them? Okay, well, why didn't you protect them?
Right, the grandparents. Where were you? Why you couldn't get the kids? Why couldn't the biological fathers get the kids? Why couldn't the biological father's parents get the kids or their sisters get the kids? But y'all want to now fast forward years later, stalking people and talking crazy to people and stalking YouTubers and then going to the police crying about somebody harassing y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna put that out there. FYI, did y'all know that? That's what the detective told me from Bakersfield Police. They told me somebody's harassing them. Somebody's harassing them. You don't mind being in folks' inboxes. You don't mind stealing people's names out the chat, but you're going to go tell the damn Bakersfield Police that folks are stalking y'all. Yeah, all right, whatever.
Right.
Your people are so sickening, so disrespectful.
People are asking me, well, where are the boys? Where are the boys? And they're outside my house asking where are the boys, and that's harassment. And
So disrespectful.
Like, really? Why would that be a death threat if you have nothing to hide? We're just trying to find the boys.
So disrespectful to these kids, to be crying wolf to the police, that somebody's bothering you all. Ain't nobody bothering y'all out there in that desert, because all you all have been doing is stalking YouTubers and people in the chat and stealing their names and all up in my inbox and all type of stuff, harassing me on somebody else's opinion, what somebody else had to say. I don't have anything to do with somebody wanting to bring me information. Just like it's no different than the realtor. I mean, the lady who sold the house, she went and said something. You don't know who she is. You don't know what she looks like. Same lady that went to the white woman's channel talking about she gave him $5,000. You don't know that woman. You ain't seen what she looked like. But then you want to come over here and harass me because the source wants to give you information about Ryan Dean and how the kids got in CPS custody. But that's not important to you. That's irrelevant. Now you got GoFundMe pages getting taken down for fraud. I guess you don't care about that either. Well, hey, to each its own. I just pray that the chief will eventually come forward with information pertaining to the children. That's all I care about. All this other stuff, crazy nonsense, and like I said, clowns and circus acts and stuff. I don't care about none of that stuff because it's sickening to me. It's very disrespectful and it's sickening. And I have a life. My life don't revolve around YouTube and making videos in the dark.
Right. People out of the woodworks. So did you hear about the lady that supposedly seen them in what was it, San Jose? I think it was at like 7 in the morning because she works at a gas station and they came in to buy diapers or some shit.
No, ma'am.
Oh, girl.
I'm not keeping up with none of that stuff. I'm not keeping up with none of those shenanigans. I saw over the baby with Pookie. Pookie had him on his arm and his back, and he had him stuffed in a backpack, and he had a blankie with him. I don't indulge in that type of stuff. I just don't.
No.
I didn't do it with Cupcake. I didn't do it with Cupcake. I didn't.
Right. And that was the saddest thing. Oh my goodness. That was a hard one. But as far as the boys go, I mean, with the adopted parent, how they went missing is beyond me. Like, you see all the camera footage, the surveillance, you talk to the neighbors, everybody's like, oh, we never seen those boys. Even at the apartments, if you go back to the interviews that some people did at the apartments, they're like, we never seen those two boys. And if we did, it was like maybe once, but we never really seen them. We seen the other ones when they were running out the door to get in the van from the back parking lot, but we never really seen those two.
Oh, see, I didn't know they saw any of the kids. I thought that guy said they would look out the window, the kids. All of them.
No. So the two older boys, the Hispanic boys that they once had that went back for smoking weed or whatever their excuse was, they seen them and they'd run over to the neighbor's house, whatever, when they were at the apartments, not at Cal City.
Yeah, Bakersfield. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then, so they got sent back because they were sneaking out and smoking weed or whatever, allegedly.
Couldn't control them. Couldn't control them.
Right.
Couldn't control them.
Right. And I think they were just too old to, kind of stick with whatever they wanted. And so then they got the two littler boys, and the neighbors never really recalled seeing them. And if they did, they don't recall if they were the two missing boys or not. So I'm wondering.
Don't you find that odd? Nobody really can say that they even saw the two small ones that are missing. Nobody at either address can really verify who's who. That's
Right.
disturbing to me. But that can happen because they didn't mingle with people. Do you understand? So if you don't mingle with people, you can't, and you're not really paying attention to your neighbors' kids, grandkids, whatever, you're not gonna know. Now you got some neighbors, they watch everything. They can decipher who's who. You know, they don't know their name, but they can say, yeah, I've seen this one, woo, woo, woo. But I don't know. Very odd and peculiar.
Where I live, like, we see all the little neighbor kids everywhere. Like, you know who's who, you know. I mean, you may not talk to their parents, but you've seen them. And at the apartments, you know, normally if you live right across from them in the apartment building, you know, you're directly across, you would see them even if they were just leaving. But he never parked in his parking spot. He'd park in the way back, acting all shady, and they'd run down the back stairs, you know, or if people were coming up the back stairs, they'd run down the front stairs and then run around or run back in their apartment and wait for people to leave. Like, why would they do that unless they're hiding something? Like, are all of them being abused, maybe? And I know that the cops interviewed the kids, supposedly, allegedly, and the last time they seen them was the 19th. And I'm wondering, okay, that could be like a coaching thing. Okay, hey, remind, you know, if you get questions, say that you saw them the 19th.
Yeah, but you know, when you're talking about small children, they're not going to be able to remember that. The older children might be able to lie, but the younger children.
Hey, when did you go to work? Well, I went the other day, but he could have meant 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Smaller children.
At 9:45 on the 17th or whatever.
Yeah, but smaller children are not going to be able to hold a lie. They're just not going to be able to hold a lie like that, especially if you just coaxing them 2 days before filing a missing persons report. They're not going to be able to hold that lie like that. So we don't really know what was said.
So, I'm just wondering when they truly went missing. And I know that everybody else is also wondering that, but I'm like, you watch all these surveillance videos, you listen to these interviews with previous neighbors and current neighbors and things like that, and nobody can specifically say that they really ever saw them, like from start to finish, you know what I mean?
Because they didn't deal with anybody.
2 and 3 years old, they're not, you know, they're not sitting in the bassinet in the house. It's not like, you know, saying they want to play. What parent do you know never lets their kid outside, period, ever? I don't care if it's
a crazy one.
Not. It's in your own backyard.
A crazy person.
It's not like you're associated with anybody.
But a crazy person would do that. That's the point.
Right.
A crazy person would do that.
So I don't know. I think truly I believe that the adoptive parents did do something to them. I don't believe in the trafficking scenario.
No, I don't believe they trafficked them.
I don't believe that.
I don't think they trafficked them. I believe.
It's been months and nobody.
I believe the chief said what he said in the beginning, that he didn't have any reason to go outside and look anywhere else for the children. He was basically telling you what you needed to know, but nobody wants to listen to him. He knows something about that house,
right?
And something happened at that house, whether they came there dead or they were toted out dead, or they were dissolved there. That's what I think. Something happened to them there, perhaps.
The dogs never hid outside anywhere in the backyard.
So that dispels.
House, which makes me believe that in one of the old houses, obviously their scent's going to be on like the couch and stuff like that, because that was in a previous address.
But that dispels the fact that they were out, that they weren't outside.
Right.
They weren't outside.
To the new house, then obviously their scent will be on the furniture or, you know, the toy box or, you know, specific things, you know. And then people have mentioned, what about the car seats? You look in the van, where are the car seats at? You know, 2 and 3 years old. I know my son's still going to be in a car seat.
Booster seat.
Where would those be? And
Booster.
If they did have car seats, is it the correct kids' car seats? Are they giving the correct scent? You know, maybe if the bio mom still had clothes of theirs, maybe she can turn that in and see if it matches with anything. You know, are they even leading in the correct direction? I think they had so much time to cover this up that, you know, it's going to be super tough to find these boys unless one of them cracks and speaks up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think they're alive. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to know that they're alive, but I think that is the very reason why the police went back to the said house to search, because they know something. They may have gotten evidence back from the lab, which led them to go call the cavalry to go back to the said house, because they didn't go back there because they were bored. There's no way in your right mind you could think they went back to that house, digging up dirt holes and running around in the lot next door because they didn't have nothing better to do. Something came back.
Oh no, definitely. And I think that, I mean, when they had months, I mean, maybe even the whole year, we don't know when they went missing, but they could have. There's always messy people. I mean, obviously he has a military background, to my knowledge. I mean, he served some type of service, and as far as like a tracker, like he knows how to track things and stuff in the service. How did he not know where to even look? If they're in the backyard, you left the gate open, and they allegedly walked out the gate. Why would you go search in the house first and not out the gate? They can't get very freaking far.
Well, it was a ruse.
Right.
It was a ruse. It was never intended. All of it was a lie in the first place. Well, it was a lie. That's the whole point. The whole story is a lie. Talking to the news was a lie. Not talking back to the news again is a lie. Everything's a lie. This whole case is a big lie. Right. And what's sad about the case is that, as I state, the kids didn't have a chance. So there's been nothing positive pertaining to the story because the children came from a murky background. And then they got placed in CPS custody. Then they go to these people who CPS allegedly did a background check on or whatever they did. And then now they're missing. And I just think CPS, they made a mistake. I mean, that's the whole point. You don't know people. This is what people keep saying. Everybody wants to blame everybody. CPS, the police. What you got to understand is that you don't know people. Every day, somebody goes missing. Somebody gets murdered by somebody. Somebody can vouch for them and say, that's my brother. That's my sister. They would never do that. Oh, he's a great guy. She's a great guy. How the hell is a serial killer a great guy? They got evidence that they killed somebody. They got bodies under the stairs in the attic. Oh, but he's a great guy. Huh?
Right.
The hell are you saying?
If you refer back to the adopted parents, well, Trezel's parents, on their interview, it says, well, they were good parents as far as I remember, but this has nothing to do with me, my husband, or my sons. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So never once, we didn't have nothing to do with them. We don't know about them, but us, we don't have nothing. So why are they at our house? Why are they attacking us, asking where the boys are, like we know something?
Because your son was staying there.
When the boys allegedly went missing, why would they call Ryan Dean first and say, oh, I'm sorry? One,
but see, that's where I have a problem. Listen.
Why would they call?
Wait 1 second. See, that's where I'm having a problem with that as well, because I've heard somebody else say that. If Ryan Dean,
why would they call her if you guys didn't know each other?
Okay, well, that's what I'm going to say.
Visitations.
That's what I'm going to say.
Before they moved or anything.
That's what I'm saying.
She allegedly found out how.
That's what I'm saying.
Through a news article or a newspaper.
That's what I'm saying.
So she was the first to show up on scene.
So okay.
Oh well, they called me and said that they're sorry, whatever. But I didn't even know.
Well,
these
that's
people.
what. So that's what I'm trying to say.
If first they said that they were sorry, that doesn't make no sense.
Okay, so if she allegedly tried to give gifts in 2018 Christmas, naturally she would have to call a social worker that we're assuming.
Right.
So, if that was 2018, you tried to give gifts and you didn't know these people, then how did you show up early? How would he call you? Why out of the blue he would call the adoptive mother? That's just weird to me. You don't talk to her. You haven't let her see her kids. You don't have an open adoption. So why would you be calling the biological mother now when the children are missing, when you didn't let her or allow her to see the kids or have an open adoption? So you didn't allow her to have an open adoption with the children. So why would you call her?
You can't pay for their haircut and you can't come see your babies. You can't bring Christmas gifts or nothing. You can't be around us. Oh, but I'm going to call you and say, I'm so sorry that your boys are missing.
Right, now. It's suspect.
I don't know.
That's why I said I think all these people know each other.
Right. Something, it all.
It's very odd.
Every angle that you look at, it all comes down to the freaking money. And I'm like, okay, in the end, let's say Trezel and Jacqueline find them. And I'm not saying, let's just hypothetically, let's say they find them. Oh, well, I found them. So do they get the money? And the cops made it very clear that that's not going to be a thing. They can't get it. And the bio mom, obviously, I highly doubt that they'll give it to her because they're all in this big circle. You know, what sense would it make to raise all this money?
Okay, Tammy, we know that. We know that, Tammy.
Whatever else.
We know that. We know that allegedly, I don't know anything. I'm not going to say I know anything. Somebody said they saw the news. She saw the news. It still doesn't explain. How would you know the address of their house?
If you look at the very first ABC News, whatever, when they said that it was lost children or whatever, they never stated, oh, hey, they're missing from...
Yeah, because they don't do that. They rarely do that. I have never heard of any missing cases where they gave the address of the person the very first time they go to the news. They don't say that.
Avenue. They're not going to tell you the exact address.
Yeah, no, they're not. No, they're not.
Where did this all come from? Oh, because they called her and they apologized that her kids were missing. And hey, if you want to talk about it, here's my address, kind of thing. And that's how I feel about it.
Something's odd. The whole case is odd.
And then she went into the house before anybody got there. I think it was her mom that was with her. I'm not sure who was with her.
Who are you talking about?
On that. But they went in the house to talk or whatever because Trezell and Jacqueline had called her to talk about it and say,
yeah, I think she said something about going to the house or going in the house or something. Yeah. And that's when she said something about gifts under the tree, or they only had one bag or something. I thought, how would you know how many bags they had for your kids? Oh, that's weird to me.
And another thing for Christmas gifts. Okay, so you're going to leave your kids outside for a lot of time, obviously, because he has enough time to go gather wood, bring it in, gather wood, bring it in, gather wood, go inside for another 5 minutes, and the kids are supposedly outside playing for chalk. But they only had one Christmas gift apiece, allegedly, per kid for Orrin and Orson. So
now, who said that? Listen.
2 little gifts are in gift bags.
Listen, who said that they only had one gift? Was it Ryan that said that?
Yeah. That was the
so that's what I'm trying to understand. Why would you, how, I don't understand none of that. How would you know they had one gift? So that means you walked in the house and saw.
Because they called her to tell her that they were sorry, whatever, and they invited her into their home to talk.
So she noticed the Christmas tree. She noticed the Christmas tree with one gift.
That had each of their names on it with just one gift, and it was in a gift bag. It wasn't even wrapped. So how long does it take to put a little toy inside a bag and write a name on it? Or clothes, whatever.
What did she say? How many bags were under the tree?
No, all that she had stated was there was one present per boy.
Per boy.
So one for Orrin, one for Orson.
So this is a couple of days to 21st. So she got there when, the 22nd or the 23rd, when she got to their house. I think that's what's confusing everybody, is when she actually got to the house. Because the 21st is when they reported the kids missing. That was a Monday. The 23rd was a Wednesday.
The 22nd.
Okay, so Wednesday is the 23rd. That's when they gave the news conference.
Yeah, the 23rd, sorry.
So she came up 2 days later. Okay, so maybe she was, as he said, she was wrapping gifts. She was interrupted.
Yes,
Jacqueline.
from what? I'm like, you're putting clothes inside a bag or toys inside a bag, you know, one gift per kid. How long does it take to do that? And so they're sitting outside, and then why would he go inside by himself and leave them unattended with the gate open? You know damn well the gate's open if you're carrying wood from the gate or in that little lot inside.
His dog wasn't out there.
Yeah, and where was the dog? They're supposedly, you know, obviously he carries his dog into the van to go, quote unquote, allegedly search for the boys for 4 or 5 minutes.
He didn't tell you that.
So you're more concerned about
Well,
your
he didn't
dog
tell you that.
than-
Listen, he did not tell you that. That's what y'all are assuming. What? You all are assuming the dog was there. There's people who are saying, I believe, that they ain't never see a dog.
On Jesse's, I think that's the neighbor's name, Jesse, on his camera footage, he stated, we didn't get to see it, so don't quote me on this, allegedly, he stated that he carried the dog into the van when he went to leave to allegedly search for the boys.
So the dog is allegedly staying at the house, because I didn't even know that there was a dog until that other mess came up about some calling the dog chalk and all that kind of stuff. I never even knew the man had a dog there. Well, I didn't focus on that because that was irrelevant to me. Well, that was irrelevant to me about the dog's name, but I was just saying I never knew that there was a dog until that mess came up when they were following him down the street and he was walking with a dog.
Pitbull lab dog, the one that they were walking in the other video.
I don't know. I don't believe anything about. I don't believe anything about the story.
Like, for instance, my pit bull or my Pomeranian or whatever, my dogs, if my kid's outside playing, my dogs are right there with them. If my kid were to run out that gate, my dogs are going to go running after them. And they're going to be barking. If someone comes in my yard, they're going to be barking. If they don't know you, they're going to be barking. They're going to go crazy, and they're like my little alarm system. Typically, anywhere you go, if you go knock on someone's door.
Okay, Shalana says there's a video showing a dog in the backyard. Okay, baby. But that's why I'm saying you don't know what's the truth. I think we all know that everything's a lie, a ruse. So I'm not going to believe a dog was anywhere. It doesn't even matter to me at this point because nothing they've said is the truth. That's how I look at it. Nothing they're saying is the truth. And like you said, if there was a dog, more than likely he'd be outside, possibly, because he's a dog. But you don't know what's the truth. So, but I don't think the children were ever there.
Talk to parents, their step was their time frame and everything else. So allegedly, you know, let's say that was the darkest day of the year, you know, when it gets dark the earliest at like 4 or something. Okay, so it took law enforcement from the time they got the call about 5 minutes to get to the house.
6 minutes.
They had said, oh, well, you know, we were looking, me and my wife were looking. We were looking everywhere. We searched around the house, didn't find the boys. We searched around the neighborhood, talked to some guy, which obviously was never true because he didn't have enough time to sit and talk to nobody. He was literally gone maybe 5 minutes and then waited by a tree. He spent more time waiting by that tree than he did looking for those kids. Mm-hmm. If his dog would have went missing or whatever else, I bet you $1 million he'd be up and down the roads and screaming out his name and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you know what irks me the most, I think, was in the interview, Jacqueline's attitude where she's throwing her hands up in the air. Oh, well, this is why we didn't want to come out because the bio family. This is why, whatever. Okay, well, first of all, you're the one that invited them over there to tell them how sorry you were that their kids were missing. Hello. You know. I don't.
Well, some people feel like there's something going on with her attitude towards them. Queen mentioned that why is she so angry at them? Which you have to ask yourself, what is the issue? Because you haven't had any involvement with the bio family, so what is the problem?
Like, why are you so mad that they want to know where their kids are or whatever else, you know? I mean, and then they're sitting in the neighbor's yard when they're doing the interview, the neighbor's yard, and then everybody goes in that neighbor's trash can and starts looking through, and that's where the box was, and that's where the alcohol and stuff was. I'm like, okay, why are you searching through the neighbor's trash cans?
So you saying that wasn't their trash cans?
No. Somebody else posted the video of it, and it shows the.
Yeah, I briefly saw a glimpse of that video. So you mean to tell me that video that's gone viral, it's not the house of Giselle and Jacqueline West?
No, that's the neighbor across the street.
So I hear somebody in the background laughing. So that video has sawdust and liquor bottles that's the neighbors?
Yeah, that wasn't the West house.
I'm dead.
I'm like, oh my goodness. It's just proof that you can't believe everything.
Well, this is why I kept trying to tell people that you go to all these people's channels, you keep putting stuff in the chat like you know what the hell went on with these people. He did this, she said this, and she said this, and that was this. You don't know nothing about them folks.
Right.
You don't know nothing about them folks. Y'all been talking about that sawdust stuff for 2 months, that they were sawdust and liquor bottles in the trash. Now you're telling me that wasn't their trash.
That was the neighbor's trash can. So what are they going to do? Go from their house to the neighbor's and put it in their trash can? They would have been caught on camera.
Elisa House says, I think one of the boys looked like Trezell. Yes, the older one. We thought that. I thought that 2 months ago. I said that oldest boy could be his son. I think they all know each other. The source let that be known that the parents live near each other, near the cemetery. How I know that? Ooh, stop.
100%. I believe
okay.
It. Tammy says that they were standing in the middle of the street and the house was on the other side of them. And that's exactly correct. And that's why everybody went to the neighbor's house and decided to look in the freaking trash can. And I'm like,
well, Melissa, these are homeowners. Melissa, hold on a minute, honey.
I want to know
Melissa,
you were supposed to protect my nephews.
Listen, Melissa, why would you be using someone else's trash can when you're a homeowner? This is not an apartment. You're a homeowner. Right. You will have your own trash can. You're not going to be using somebody else's trash can. That would make any
Right,
sense.
and he was incognito. He didn't want to be seen by anybody, and
Okay.
was so discreet.
Tina
into
says,
himself. Why would
I thought Bio Mom and Giselle know each other. I think they all know each other. Because all these different conflicting stories of who called who, who showed up first. It's all distorted because I don't really know anything. That's why this ain't never dwelled on none of this stuff that you're repeating right now, because you don't know what is the damn truth with these people. That's why the case is so messed up, because you don't know what to believe with these people. I mean, you just don't know.
As far as the bio mom and her record, because I know that everybody's like, oh, the bio mom, she's guilty, she does this, whatever, she's abusive, blah, blah, blah. Her record. Her record is public record. You can go on the court's website and look her up and see exactly what her charges were.
Well, where do you live?
They're saying that,
where do you live?
Huh?
Where do you live?
In California.
You're in California. Okay. You're not near Bakersfield, are you?
I'm in Lancaster.
Oh, in Lancaster. Okay, I've heard of Lancaster. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Mercy.
But you can look everything up. It's all public record. So,
Okay.
I mean, as far as her charges and stuff like that, I'm like, it wasn't just because of weed. And everybody's like, oh, she got her kids taken away because of weed. No, that is not why. And she didn't get that green card until well after the fact.
Well, that's what I heard. Well, that's what the source said. The source said that she got the weed card after the taking of the what was it, the first child with the cracked femur. Yeah, that's what the source said, that she didn't have that card before the child's leg got fractured. So now you have to ask yourself, how did the source know that? But the source is a lie. Let them tell it. Okay.
Right. I'm like, there's so many things. I'm like, do I think that they should go back to Ryan? No, I don't. And people can attack me for that all they want. I don't care. I don't believe that they should.
Ain't nobody worried about these people out here. These people are nobodies.
Right.
Anytime you can focus your life on social media all day, stalking people, cussing people out, stealing names out chats. If this is all you got to do, that means you don't work. You don't have nothing to do. You don't have a life.
Right.
Your life is revolving around a damn YouTube channel. YouTube is making money off of all this so stupid foolishness. Ain't nobody to figure that out. Are you sitting here crying and moaning about flagging somebody's channel and, I'm going to Facebook. You're all out of breath running over there like you Jesus's girlfriend reporting stuff over there on Facebook. Don't nobody care but a buffoon. Only a buffoon cares about all this foolishness that everybody has immersing themselves into and swearing they know the spoken word about these kids. Don't none of you know nothing about these folks. And if you're stupid enough to vouch for some strangers pertaining to some missing kids, something is wrong with you and you need to go have your damn head examined. Because I'm not vouching for nobody pertaining to these kids. Period.
Right. Nope. I think that, every one of them knows something. And how, in my instance, I've been in trouble so many times and then some. Like, every time I get in trouble, my mom's the first one to know.
Well, what's the criminal record that you saw? What was on the record? You didn't mention it.
I gotta pull it back up and then I can send it over to you. I'm not gonna quote anything.
Because Backspace said something he saw. Okay, JR said, what she got arrested for? Y'all just have to Google her name and figure it out. I don't care what the little heifer did. I don't care about Ron Dean. I don't care about that little girl because it's obvious. Look, I'm not gonna be talking about these folks every day. We just was pondering some stuff late in the morning. Decided for me to go live, talk about the variables pertaining to the case, because I really felt like every time I say something about these people, everybody want to lose their mind and all that. First of all, this is my channel. I talk about whatever I want to talk about on my channel. Nobody can tell me what I can talk about on my own channel. And who can come over and say whatever they want on my channel.
People out there and on every live now. I mean,
I
don't follow many people. I follow you and then 2 other people, but I would still watch, here and there and see what everybody else, their opinion. And you still got the same people hating on those YouTubers and you and the other ones and everything. It's the same exact people. And then when they get banned, they create another one. And they say the same exact thing verbatim. And it's the same couple people over and over and over again. And I'm like, why are you trying to jeopardize or interrupt the opinion? Everybody has an opinion, just like everybody has an asshole. You don't have to look at it or hear it.
Yeah.
But we all got one.
Well, my thing is,
You know?
why would you be getting mad about something that you already concede is the truth pertaining to this female and her kids? You didn't need a source to tell you something was odd about 4 kids not being in the custody of their mother. But nobody wants to talk about that. You just want to act like the kids were born in a pumpkin patch.
You know, when I had mentioned, I was like, how did she lose the 2 younger ones but keep the older ones? And then it all
She never had the older ones. She never had the older ones. But I understand. Listen to me. Listen. She never kept the 2 older ones.
No, they're with their
listen,
their biological
you're not listening.
fathers.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. She never kept them, period.
Yeah, no.
Periodically.
I mean,
they bring the kids to her. They bring the kids to her, then back to the fathers. That's why it was easy for them to take her to court and get the kids, because from my understanding, what the source said, she never kept a place to live to keep any of the children. You all don't find that odd? A woman is putting out children one after the other and not had a solid place to keep your children. You had nothing but children, and you couldn't keep a place to live with your kids.
Right. On that note, if the family cared so much and these are their babies and they want to know that they're safe and everything else, and you know people are supposed to protect them, when she was couch surfing and stuff like that with these kids, or living in the cars and stuff with these kids and everything else, and she got so close to the first foster parent because, well, she had nowhere to live and her kids are there, so she's trying to stay there, and everybody jeopardized that, and the state's like, hey, you're way too close. Like, they're in protective custody, basically. We're still doing an investigation, so obviously they're going to move them because, okay, now you know where these people live. You're not just doing supervised visits like you should have. Where was her family when she needed a place to stay? When she needed a stable home and stuff to keep her children? They didn't care then.
Well, I thank you for calling in.
The situation is just sad, and it's messed up, and it's sickening.
What is sickening?
I think that something did happen to them boys, and I think that they're gone.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this before you go. Do you think something happened at that house, or do you think something happened in Bakersfield?
I don't even think it was Bakersfield. I think that they had went somewhere. And, you know, like these cars, how they have GPS and stuff. I was like, why don't they pull the GPS records from these 2 vans? Or 3 vans, for that matter.
They may have. But we don't know because they're not going to tell us all that.
Right. But I was like, you know, if they were to do that, or even their phones and see, okay, did they take a trip to, let's say, the border or something like that, or somewhere else in California that's out of the realm that they normally don't travel to. I don't think that something happened at the apartment. I don't think something happened in Cal City, but I do think they had went somewhere to do something to these boys and then dispose of them.
Well, I don't know, honey. But I think something happened at that house.
She dumped them in the desert and left them to fend for themselves until they were gone.
So your mother thinks he dropped them off in the desert.
Yeah. I don't believe that, but that's...
Yeah, because that'd be, you'd have to take them way out to where you'd hope that don't nobody go out there and ride and find them. And then how is that going to be? You got to also count if they were found wandering, how you going to explain your kids wandering in the desert and you didn't report them missing? So see, that would be too risky because you got the bikers that go out there, people in RVs. You don't know who might go out there and see your kids wandering. Then they pick them up, take them to safety. Now you got to explain to the police why your kids are out in the middle of the desert wandering around. But I understand your mom's point. You just don't know what to think with this case because these people are cuckoo birds.
Well, and even if they drove way out in the middle of the desert, they would have been caught by the homeless community out there. You know?
But you know, the desert goes way out. You know, the desert goes, all the way to Nevada and on. So if they're sick enough, they want to drive them kids way, way out where they think they could be dropped off. I think they murdered the kids. That's what I think.
I truly believe
I think they murdered the kids, and I think they did whatever they did at Cal City. That is the reason why the police went back to that house looking. They know something about that house, and that's why they went back.
I think maybe if the other kids allegedly, maybe if they really did see him on the 19th, I think maybe what had happened was the kids were in the van and they may have already been dead, and they had told Trezelle's mom and dad, "Oh, well, the boys are in the van sleeping, so we have to go." And then they had taken a trip to go and dump the body somewhere. I think, that could be one scenario.
Well,
That's why
it
the
could
kids
be.
were like, oh no, they were in the
Well, I always said in the beginning when they said that the dogs didn't hit on the scent outside, I said, well, they were carried out. They were carrying something.
Well, and then you have all the weather and stuff. I mean, they could have been missing for months.
Well, they could have. And that's the thing we don't know, because if you don't have anyone to come forward, that's why I said it's going to be a matter of video surveillance, all the places they shop, all the places they went, how many kids they had in tow with them. And that's what's going to tell the story of how long the children have actually been missing. It's video surveillance.
Well, that, and they changed vans. They used the one at Trezel's mom's house to move some of their stuff. And that's what they said. They moved some of their stuff to Cal City with that and then parked it because something happened with the van or it's broken down or something. I don't remember what the scenario was. And then they used the newer van. Yeah, and then they used the newer van to continue moving, and then they had this huge fire in the backyard, and all the neighbors reported it at Trezel's mom's house because it was so big, and the fire department showed up, but there's no attention to that from the police. They didn't go and check out, okay, well, what really happened with this big fire?
But the thing is, somebody had to call the police, though.
The neighbor next to their mom's house called the fire department.
That night?
Yeah, the night of the fire. And that was the night, what was that? The night that they started moving?
No, that was when the night the boys went missing.
Oh, the night that the boys went missing is when the huge fire happened.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I thought you all was talking about a fire that may have happened months beforehand.
No, this was the night the boys went missing. There was a huge fire in the back of Trezel's mom's house, and
Did y'all
called the fire.
Did y'all hear that? That the fire that was at Wanda's house was the same night that they reported the children missing. I ain't never hear that.
Yeah.
And they were burning up the vans.
Heather says no, the fire was before that. See, I don't know. That's why I don't claim anything. I don't know. Oh, somebody said the fire was months before. No, unless somebody else says it was months before. Okay. Somebody said it was in June 2020. Okay, June 2020.
I don't know. I know that Crenshaw had called. I see that in the comments, KK said that Crenshaw called it was in September.
Okay, well that's what KK is saying. That she said it was in September.
Yeah, that's what I just seen that too. And that's when they started moving to the Cal
Earth Girl said, but I know it was a fire. Earth Girl, you crazy. Lord have mercy. This is ridiculous.
But it was so big that the neighbors were calling the fire department, and so they had to go and put it out and everything else. And then people had said that the van seat's on fire, and a lot of people had gotten the shots from the neighbor's house. They got approval to go back there and kind of look around. They couldn't go on the west property, but they had recorded it, and it does look like that big van seat was actually caught on fire.
What they took a picture of it inside of a van.
No, they had removed. So if you look at the videos,
wasn't it the seat was outside in the yard?
Yeah,
that's what I thought. So okay,
the back seat's missing. It was the long bench seat.
Oh, okay,
that seat's missing.
Okay.
And so that's also, a bench seat is in the backyard of their house, and that looks like that's.
So wonder what's the point? What y'all trying to say? The kids was stored in the back seat? I don't understand.
The kids were in.
No, what I think is the kids were in that van because that's the van that first helped move to Cal City, and then they parked it.
But if you stored the kids in something, there wouldn't be no evidence on the seats.
Well, if they were already dead or there's blood or something on them seats, maybe that's why they burned them, is what I'm saying. And that's why they parked it and never used that again to help or continue moving to Cal City.
I don't know. Very weird.
I'm like, there's so many things that could have happened. And like I said, I don't think that we're ever going to know until one of them crack. Whether it be the parents, whether it be Jacqueline or Trezel, or maybe Biomom.
Well, they're holding on.
Yeah, and I think that it's weird that they're not living together. When you see these videos of people standing outside the West home, Trezel's mom's house.
Yeah, I know.
You never see Trezel walking with his dad or his brother. Where's Jacqueline now?
Well, I've had one guy comment on my channel, and I've heard this in some other places. This one guy kept saying, "Why are you all stalking Wanda's house? Why aren't you all bothering Jacqueline's mother?" And I said, well, probably because if she lives in that apartment complex, it's private, it's gated. But I get his point. But I get his point. It's like, why is everybody on Wanda? You're stalking Wanda and hanging outside her house and bothering her. Why aren't you all following in behind Jacqueline's mother and relatives?
Because it's easy access.
Easy access, right. That's what I was thinking too. So is it proven that Jacqueline's mother lives at that apartment complex that's gated?
She still lives there, yes.
Okay. Well, that's why they're not there. It's private property. They'd have to hang outside and wait for her to come out.
A gate code and stuff. You can't just.
Well, I know that's why I said that. They'd have to wait till she come out and follow her.
Right.
To go somewhere.
And
so
there's no way that you're gonna know
when she's gonna come out.
We know when she drives. She was caught on the video camera.
Right.
But I'm like, you could have several other vehicles. Everybody typically has a spare vehicle. You know what I mean?
Woo.
So
sad. Well, thank you. Tell your mama said hi. Okay. You be careful. Hi. How you doing, honey?
My son says hi.
Hi. What y'all doing up late in California? Oh, look at that baby. How old is that baby?
He's 3 months.
Oh my gosh. Shut your mouth. Oh, look at him. Just a kicking. Oh, he got a little tan on him. I guess he said y'all.
Right, well,
guess he said y'all got me up. Y'all got me up here talking about that foolishness out here.
Right. All right. Honey.
Thank you, honey.
Well,
take care. Okay. Bye-bye. You too, honey. Bye-bye. All right. That was a caller out of California. Mercy me. Woo. I'm 2 hours and 41 minutes in. This is a long video. I'm not going to stay on here much longer, but my head's spinning. It was a caller out of California. I ain't gonna say her name because I don't want them bothering her. But she's in the chat. Ooh, Jesus. Man, I'm just like, what in the world? Look, Melissa. God. All that, that's why I said this case just goes on and on and on. It does not stop. You don't know what to believe about a fire pit, a garbage can, or because see, I didn't listen to all that stuff that's going on. What them folks been talking about, garbage pits and fires and stuff. I vaguely listen to that stuff. I just vaguely listen, so I can't say verify when something took place or whatever because there hasn't been no truth come out about nothing that went on in this damn case. So I just don't really dwell on anything that I hear. I don't dwell on this stuff. What time is it there? They're 3 hours behind from me. I'm 4:57 a.m. So they're 3 hours behind. So 1:58 in California. Thank you so much, Leanne. Thank you so much. I thank all of you. Oh my goodness. Lord, KK. That's right. KK's out there in California. Woo, honey. I don't know what to say. And where is Queen? She ain't in the chat nowhere. Where is she? She's supposed to be in here. She then probably went to sleep. Hey, Vet. How you doing? Thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much. Yeah, Natasha, it's a lot. I ain't never seen nothing like this. Look, Nene, about I work at 8:30. Nene, you supposed to be in the bed, sitting up here listening to all this old crazy stuff. Leanne's in Iowa. How you doing, baby? Oh my goodness. Yes. Backspace. You even know what to think after listening to all that. Hey, Kishan. How you doing? Oh, she was in here. KK, you crazy. I told you. Queen is on fire. Girl, a child. Oh, 358. Hey, Chick Bitty in Texas. Yes, prayer for Texas, too. I meant to say that at the beginning of the live. I'm so sorry. I'm sticking to the facts. That was a lot, though. Yeah, Tasha K, it was a whole lot. I don't know what to say about any of that. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you so much. I'll be sleeping all day. You gonna sleep after listening to all that? What happened with the boys' car seats? I don't know. Booster seats, you mean? 3 and 4 years old, they're supposed to be in booster seats. I don't know. I don't know what to say about any of this stuff. This stuff is just weird to me. Hot mess is right. One truth, if you're looking for crazy, you just got to hit Cal City or Roseman. They're specialized in madness. They all tweakers and Satanists. Karen Dawson, you a mess. Oh, there are reasons police in Bakersfield and Cal weren't looking out. They know something. Yeah, they know something we don't. Yes, I believe that. Yes. The problem, amateur journalists involved first. Oh, don't say that. They had them coming over here talking junk. That's why the information is all mixed up. But that's true. Because there was stuff that some people repeated that wasn't true. I don't think was true. And everybody went falling in behind it. And I just sat and watched, I was just sitting back with a box of chocolates, looking at the shenanigans go on YouTube. I said, all you need is a bag of popcorn and a box of chocolates. And look at these damn fools running around. I said, look at these crazy ass folks running around. Look at these damn folks running around like they damn crazy. I said, look at these jokers. Look, I'm like Barney Fife. Ooh, we golly. Damn. Y'all just running around on horses and shit. Running around. Look, lasso. Get up. Get up, horsey. Get up. The hell is going on? Ooh. They crazy out there. Man, that desert. Look, I told the source the other day, I said they need the damn rope off Bakersfield. Pull all the decent folks out of Bakersfield, Cal City. Tell them, hey, this is a one-time rodeo. You better get out by midnight. We get ready to burn this damn place down. We get ready to burn it to the ground. I'm serious. There's something wrong, man, with these people out here. Yeah, laughing is good for the soul. I had to laugh because this is just, whoo, the teeth. God, Jesus. Backspace, cut it out. You know I'm telling the truth. Damn. Get a last, I mean, what is it? What is going on out there in that place? God help us. I told you I grew up in San Bernardino County, portion of the high desert. This place is crazy, man. I mean, and it's no disrespect to the kids. Something's wrong with these people out here in this desert. Oh, Tammy, you got it. Woo-wee, you got that right. I mean, there's something wrong with these people. I mean, just listen to her tell all the stuff just now. I was just sitting there like, hell, where have I been? What is it, a YouTube part 2? YouTube got a sister station. It's that desert. Yes, I believe that. You have to laugh in the case, not to go crazy. Yes, it's sad to me. It's horrible. All of this is horrible. It's just utter buffoonery, and it's sad because you're talking about 2 missing kids, and it's just all these versions of who gave somebody money, who tried to sell a house, and it's just all of it's just rank, and you don't know what to believe. You don't know who to believe, because in the end, you really don't know anything that's truth that's been said about exchange of money, who did what. You just don't know what's the truth. Plum loco, you got that right. Yeah, there's something wrong with these people. There's something very scary about these people out here, and that's what's the sad part about the story, is that there's something wrong with these people. There's something sick and sinister, I think, with everybody involved. I think the children, as I say, didn't have a chance. They got placed in the CPS custody. They ended up with the West family. They were in it for the money. I think something went terribly wrong with Trezell and his wife and the kids. I think they harmed the children, and they got them missing. As I said, disassembled, possibly at Cal City. And that is why the police have been back to that said house, because there's something there. And that's what I think for now. Yes, wicked wickedness. Tammy, you making up stuff. Thank you, Diane from the UK. God bless you. Thanks for joining us. ritual abuse from 4 to 14. She believes the boys were sacrificed and eaten. Something. Okay, Karen. Oh, Lord have mercy. Forrest Gump. That's why I say that every time. You need some popcorn and a box of chocolates because this is a crazy story. I mean, I can't stand it. You tell the truth. We know the truth hurts so well. They need tougher skin. Well, you know, obviously there's been some truth revealed pertaining to these kids and the life of the bio mom. That's self-evident. You didn't need anybody to come forward and tell you anything about her and the kids. The truth was already there before the source came forward or anybody else want to say anything. I mean, 4 kids, 4 children gone. You don't need anybody to tell you anything. Just do the math. I feel sorry. I feel bad for these kids. I feel bad for them to be in the shape they started in. I feel bad that they had to go into foster care. I feel bad for whatever happened to them at the West House. You talk about a short life, 3 and 4 years old. They didn't have a chance. And it's sickening to think about all the abuse these kids probably sustain in all these different homes, even with their own bio mom. I feel bad as hell because there's no telling what they went through. They're just little bitty people with no voice, nobody to stand up for them. It's just unfair. Yeah, there's something in the water, all right. I used to be involved with some kooks in North Hollywood back in the 80s. You would be amazed, for real. Now, Karen, I know that a lot of sinister stuff goes on in the world. I know that there's a lot of sinister stuff to go on in the world. I know there's a lot of sick people out here. There's people that don't mean you well. They'll do anything to you. They'll harm you. They'll rob you, steal, scam, beat you, stuff you in a bag and push you on out in the river somewhere in the ocean. And it happens every day. And that's the sad thing, is that you don't know people. And that's what I have been saying in the beginning of this case. That's why I never rally for anybody in the case. How could I rally for somebody when I don't know them? That's just who I am. I mean, everybody's different, but I'm not rallying for anybody that would allow their child to be abused. And I'm not going to rally for people who take in a child and abuse them, get them missing. And I think you're suspect. I'm not rallying. I'm waiting to hear, evidence from the police, the FBI. That's who I've been waiting on. Bring me something to show me, where these kids are or what happened to the kids. I'm not rallying for anybody, because when it comes to those kids, I'm just not that kind of person to just rally for somebody. I can't do it. I'm not going to. I don't have to. Why my face is so shiny? Stop it. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not worried about that, honey. Nothing about this makes sense. It would be nice if we knew they were still alive. Yes, Brandon, that's true. That would be nice. But like I said, we have to wait until the police gives us some type of information. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to have to wait. That's all. Maybe something at the house FBI checked that wasn't present in the house from the boys, like their fingerprints or even their DNA. John Q, I don't know. I do not know. Someone threw, stop it out. Oh, don't worry about it. I used to work at State Penal Code Mental Asylum. There was an entire assortment of pedophiles, rapists, and killers. Some of them look perfectly normal. Well, see, that's the whole point. What does a pedophile look like? What does a serial rapist look like? A rapist? What does a serial killer look like? They look like regular people. You hear the stories every day of people that have done horrible things to people. They look like normal people. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you. Yes, Carmela, you said it. The waiting is the hardest part. And that is so true pertaining to these kids. And like any crime, it's that we are just sitting here waiting patiently for the law enforcement to tell us something about these kids, what they have. God, I mean, I'm going to be truthful. I was probably leaning toward 2 weeks ago. I was hoping to get some type of information when they searched the house. I was just like, okay, here it comes. They're getting ready to tell us something. Oh, Dewey, yes. Thank you. It's almost like they are better off not suffering anymore. Yes. And that's a terrible thing to say. But when you look at the fact how they came into the world and then they got to the West House, how could you think? I just don't understand how you think they would be happy. They would only be happy alive if they got to a safe environment. And that's a gamble. Let's be truthful. If they are found alive, they'll be going back into the system. I don't think a lot of you really thinking about that. They will be going back into foster care. And the way you all have judged CPS and talk bad about CPS, do you really think? I'm just saying. I would be fearful for them to go back in foster care. I really would. That's why they went back to the house a second time to perform a complete forensic on the house, especially the bathrooms and the plumbing. Okay. Everyone is not liking how long it's taking for answers and arrests. Yes, and I know a lot of people are upset. Police should be getting sample back from the fireplace and ground soon. Hopefully we find out more. Yes. Yes, I believe that. We don't, what that kid games on this channel, be an adult, stay respectful. Look at Crystal. Crystal about to get jiggy in that chat. Okay, darling. I'm messing with you. I thank you all. I'm going to end it. It's 2:56 now. JR, exactly. If they pass, I hope they did not suffer. I hope the same. I hope that. And I glad you said that, because when I think of the short journey on this earth and what they had to endure growing up, being born, and like I said, coming out of one house to go then into foster care, then another home to the West, I don't want to think about all the terrible things that was done to them, because that'll just make me even more sick. I just hope that they're at peace. That's what I'm praying for, is that they're at peace, because I don't think that they are alive. If they are alive, amen. But the flip side of that would be, where would they go if they are alive? Dear God, that would be, to me, really make my stomach turn, because now I'll be sitting here wondering, like, who the hell is getting ready to get these kids? And will we even trust the next set of people to take care of these children? I think that would worry me to death more than what I'm thinking now, that they're not alive. I don't want them kids going back in foster care if they're alive. I'm sorry, I don't. And somebody would have to trust to take them in. Somebody would have to trust to even adopt them. We be talking about the same story all over again, worrying about these kids going to the right people. Man, this is bad. This is horrible. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for my new subscribers. Thank you all for staying up in the AM with this queen. God bless Texas, praying that they get their water and power situated, and the people can afford their bills, their utility bills. Praying for those with COVID. There's a family here in Knoxville. All the members have COVID. Praying for a friend of mine who had COVID. Praying for all of you out there, and praying for a resolution to this case, that law enforcement will just one day soon come tell us something about these babies, and whoever is involved, whether it's 1, 2, or more, that they all go down for harming these kids. Because I want a resolution. I'm tired of this case. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of all the stories and versions and different things. I just want to end to this, because what's sad is that there's somebody else out there missing. There's somebody else out there that's been abused by their parents. So this won't be the last story about an abused child or children. And that's the sad part. Besides us not knowing where these children are, somebody else has lost their life because somebody didn't love them. Somebody didn't care enough about them. And they're now a news story, a YouTube story, Facebook story. That's the sad part. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below. Thanks for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, Cash App, $ Big Angie 129. Thanks for my guests that joined me and gave their commentary. You all stay safe out there. Have a blessed week. I will be back with an update to any stories that I've brought to you, and I will be bringing you new content this week. And thank you so very much. Thanks for my mods. God bless all of you. Love you guys. Love all my new subscribers and my friends abroad. You all have been so kind to a queen, and I want to thank you. Let's say a prayer for those babies. Prayers for Texas. Good night.